Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by our lovely sponsors, Pawtion, an all-natural single protein dog food snack company. Go to pawtion.com.au, use code MuscleTalks25 to get 25% off your first order and MuscleTalks10 for continued orders. Also, our premium Australian supplement company, Primabolics, for all your protein, pre-workout needs, and much, much more. Go to primabolics.com.au and use a generous discount code MuscleTalks15 to get 15% off. Now let's get into this podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not so much I didn't have confidence in the trajectory that we were heading with where we were at. It was more, what's more? You know, like where could I learn more? Is there a more of efficient way to go about this?
And how did you know about that in halfway through?
Just speaking to other people, getting other ideas from other people, sort of how they would have approached certain aspects of comps and stuff like that. And I thought that's what made me think. I was like, oh, you know, maybe there's more to learn. People sort of go, all right, I want that overnight success. I want the overnight results. And it's like, all right, sweet, for me to do that, I've got to take X, Y, Z amount of what? And it's like, you're probably going to run into health issues. Yeah. So it's a maturity and discipline factor that comes into it too. Because if you've got the discipline to do the meal prep, to do the training, you've got the discipline to, you know, navigate your way through that realm.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not going to make stupid, drastic decisions.
I agree. I
was just enjoying being there.
Social butterfly, but not much on socials.
No.
How to fill out your arms in your shirt sleeves. I got you. 3 tips to improve your back. Haters will say this is fake.
Yeah.
Shire to the gong. Footy with mates, playing now like he's great. Chippy, supplements, chippy. Changed coaches midway through. Dig deep, the deeper you dig. I don't know what that means. Chris, I'm just writing it. Oh, no. Dig deep. The dig is deeper.
The dig is deeper.
That's right. Yes, we've got that. Right. See, this one, we don't have to edit this. This is perfect. Seeing them pump up, warm up, and wondering what the fuck have I got myself into.
Yeah.
First time state show, first time national show. First time IFBB Pro League, first time competing, first time shredding.
Yeah.
Please help me welcome Ethan, my favourite Mo guy.
Yeah.
George. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, we got that out. We got the intro out. I can only say what's installed for us is going to be pretty bad if I can't get that intro out. But let's roll, man. Okay, let's go with your first story, all right?
Yep.
Your pinned post. Because we think it's most important because you pinned it.
Yeah.
Your story yesterday, you were posing, doing various poses. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the caption, it says, another week closer, 106 kg.
106 kilos.
What does that mean?
Another week closer to getting back on stage.
And which, I was going to leave that question to the end. So 106, is that your heaviest?
No.
What's your heaviest?
115.
115.
115 kilos.
Was that bodybuilding?
Yeah.
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 Fluffy?
Yeah.
Very fluffy?
Yeah. Not a tidy 115.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad 115, but it could have been a lot better.
Going by your experience, what do you know, mate? You're winging it all the way. just like you did your rugby league career. Actually, your fucking whole life is winged.
Yeah, literally. It's just... it's not really the trait that I sort of follow with myself. Just go with the flow.
Let's talk about that.
I don't like to overthink too much.
Well, I like that style because I have a saying: thinking is a waste of time.
It is.
It is literally because I guess we all think. You think as well. You probably think like, what's that comp going to be like? You probably think, you know, what am I going to eat tonight?
Yeah.
Probably think like that.
Yeah.
But usually that thinking turns to quick action kind of thing in a way, you know, like you're thinking what comp you're going to do, but you're driving to the gym, you're going to have a workout.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is thinking is a fucking waste of time because you can think what you want to be, what you want to achieve, what you want to do today, but the thinking part is the slow part. It's just fucking just doing
the action.
You know what I mean? Doing the action. So
100%.
it seems like, is that your kind of natural DNA? Because I don't think I had that DNA, but I've become that DNA.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. Obviously putting a lot of thought into the direction of the future is one sort of aspect of thinking. But aside from that, just living in the moment, taking everything for what it is sort of how I like to go about it, because, you know, you can only control what you can realistically.
Where do you get that philosophy from? Where did that come from?
I don't even know.
No?
It's just been me growing up.
A lot of people try to have that philosophy. They can't implement it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just, how I've grown up, just sort of going with the flow.
It was funny. I was talking to my girlfriend this morning, and she lives up in Queensland, and she was telling me like a few things she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like, she's a single mum and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And work. And she did this Tony Robbins course over the weekend that her boss put her through.
Yeah, cool.
She didn't even sleep, right? And she loves sleep.
Yeah.
Right? You know, when the person loves sleep, they're dying.
Yeah.
It's like death.
They need it.
They don't care they're watching Tony Robbins. Fucking, they paid $5,000 for this course. I'm dying. I'm not sleeping.
Yeah, 100%.
But I said to her, and I realized, which is maybe what you've got naturally as well, but not sure. But the thing is, not many people allow themselves thinking music. Everyone tries to act too quickly.
Yeah.
I've learnt, if something is said to me that has thrown me off, or I don't know what the best decision is, I'll say I need 2 minutes.
Just a debrief.
Or I just debrief in my head. So I go to the game show music, you know, when the game show music, and he goes, you got 15 seconds to go. Dun, 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 dun. You got 3 seconds to go. We need your answer now. So I'm like that. That. Do you kind of work on that too sometimes? Or you just, like I said, there are people that go with the fucking flow.
Yeah.
And that's you.
Yeah. I like to do a little bit of both.
Are you go with the flow, Chris?
Yeah. Fuck. It seems just to be, works for me, I suppose. Obviously, I do have, like I said, some aspects of future planning, stuff like that. Like, obviously, I'm not just completely going out on a whim with life. You know, obviously, I like to have a direction I'm heading in. But in the immediate time where I'm like, you know, someone's having a conversation with me, I'm just like going with it. Do you know what I mean? Sort of. Does
everyone like you?
I'd hope so.
Everyone likes Chris, and he doesn't fucking open his mouth. We cut deals and they think Chris.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did this guy come in? He just sat in the room. Chris is liked every day.
Yeah.
Even when we're making big decisions, they all go, let's get Chris's decision. I said, he doesn't make decisions in this area. What are you talking about? He's a top bloke.
Yeah,
he's a good bloke. I'm going, Chris, can someone tell me I'm doing a good job? Yeah, anyway, it's hilarious. All right. Well, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think I had that once. I still try to get it back, but at the moment, I'm like I know, like I said, this podcast, we just talk about everything, but there's a saying. It's a funny saying. You know, like nature.
Okay.
When the bird is hungry, somehow food is produced. Like the bird doesn't eat until it's hungry. Correct. Even any animal, except for us, they're hungry, food appears.
Okay.
We will panic about everything, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've got to prepare and we've got to get and we've got to do.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I'm trying to set up this coffee account recently, and when I looked at it, I said, honestly, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to put this together.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, I had to allow it to do its own course.
Okay.
Not do it on the days I wanted to do it, but each day I allowed the next day to come, the next day I could do it.
Yeah, right.
And each day I let the next day come, I could do it. And we got there.
Yeah,
so hilariously, I've put it together. I wanted it perfect prior.
Okay.
But it said, no, you're going to do some on the day.
Yeah, right.
And then every day after that, you're going to get it right. And I just went with it. So I said, I can't control this. I can't change it. And funny enough, each day, I said, where am I going to get this fucking, this is I need this. And then there it is. It was weird. It was weird. I honestly saw, it just seemed, but the last thing I'll say is my tenacity to solve every fucking problem and to eliminate every problem got me what I wanted. I know that for a fact. So meaning, I think there was this mentor guy once he wasn't my personal mentor, but he was kind of a mentor guy.
Yep.
And he said to me, when you think you've exhausted everything,
yes,
you haven't. And I went,
always more.
There's always more. And I said one time, in this series, he said, hey, if you haven't begged, you haven't tried. Okay. And I said, well, I got to beg?
Yeah.
And he goes, then you don't deserve the win.
Right.
And it's true, just when you're going to the part where your self-esteem is tested, that's when you don't give a fuck about nobody, even yourself. Yeah, you got to get to the line. You got
to get to that point. Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
I said to someone once, I had to ask them for their car.
Okay.
I just needed it because I think I copped a lot of fines and I needed to do something for work and I needed a car.
Yeah.
And I just said to her, look, I'm just going to ask you, I don't really give a fuck if you give me the car or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got no other choice but to fucking ask you. And I don't want to ask you. I just go, and she gave me the car. I got the car.
Well, there you go.
But what I'm getting is I felt sick. Like I thought, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like he's right. Just when you think, oh, I've done everything. No, I've tried everything. Have you pushed your pride?
Have you really tried everything?
Have you tried everything? And it's true. There is a moment where everything changes. You're numb.
Yeah.
You don't even care to be judged. You don't care what they think of you. You don't even care what you think of them.
Yeah.
You just go, I've got to get it's an interesting. I'm sure, I'm kind of thinking when you're getting to that point to competing, do you get to that stage? Because you guys look like you're dead.
Yeah.
There's no soul left. Is that true?
Yeah. Like I've only done the one show. So obviously my experience in history with this whole concept of sport isn't, as in depth as everyone else. But, being in a position where you are at that point, you sort of do learn things about yourself that you never really knew, which is interesting. That's what I liked about it all.
Yeah.
Learning just how to think and how to navigate your mind in situations like that is, it's cool. It's fun.
It is actually. I've never competed, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about it. I was going to compete in 2019. That's why I looked like I looked, right? Yeah. But I think that's the bit that I can't surrender is how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
And then committing, one, to that.
Yeah.
And then two, standing next to guys that I think I shouldn't be next to, like you said, you're in the back of that room. And then I'm thinking, am I going to fucking crumble at the back of that room? Because even when I saw you guys this year, and I still can't believe it's your first comp, man. And I still can't believe, like obviously rugby league, sporty kid, maybe, natural genetics.
Yeah.
Because you can't have just done this overnight. Like, this is impossible. I don't care what gear you're on either. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
but for you, it just has, right, in a way. So you're in the right sport. Hey, guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, who is following us on all platforms, but especially here on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, please, if you could do us a big favor, which helps us reach more people, get better, bigger, greater. We've already had some great guests anyway. Everyone's been a treat. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every week a new podcast that is launched. And I just want to say a big thank you. But again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and enjoy watching Muscle Talks podcasts. But like when I saw you guys competing, I thought, this fucking classic physique's gone to another level again. It's insane. You guys were all insane.
Yeah.
The whole lot of you.
It was nuts.
That's why I said I got spooked. I go, look at the, like, not that I'll go against you guys.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say to you is, like, I looked at it and I went,
the level is
gone
higher.
another. It used to be, you had to be a little bit smoother with some fucking flow and hourglass stuff and, quad sweeps and just a little, but it's like, Jesus Christ.
It's insane.
It is insane,
It's fun and it's exciting.
It is. And like, it's funny because you guys have embraced it. Back when I said I was speaking to Terry Mitsos, the show was just guys opens, which seemed like classic at the time, smaller than you guys.
Yeah.
Not Terry's shows. We're talking about just shows in general.
Okay.
Amateur shows.
Yeah.
And it wasn't glitz and glamour. It's, like I said, the whole thing. I think everyone's stepping up on the game.
It's just the direction, the way.
IFBB stepping up the game.
Yeah.
A and B stepping up the game.
Yeah.
NABBA's stepping up there. Everyone is insane. It's going to be who's the top dog. Yeah. And I think it's great.
It is. It really is.
I think they should allow everyone to go compete in different. When you get your pro card, I think you should. I think, if that's the pro card you want, you need to dedicate your pro card. I think it's fair. Yep. But I think along the way, I think people should jump in different shows, man.
Yeah, makes it interesting, I guess.
Especially if there's prize money, which I think needs to be looked at. I think prize money needs to come into this.
Give more back to the athletes, I suppose.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, prize money is good. I think everyone should get prize money. I mean,
you spend a lot of money doing it.
Fuck, no, they spend money. I mean, no one. I mean, I'm not saying a voucher to Target isn't good.
Yeah,
it's not Target.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but I think there should be. I think there should be some money.
Oh, of course.
Because, I mean, is there anything? Have we got a bigger? Have we got bigger? Like what I'm trying to say is, if you're playing soccer on the weekends, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just general soccer, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're going to a level where you're playing at the top of the game now and you're becoming a state champion, you're a state champion.
Yeah.
Like you're a state champion. I think there should be money. You're a state champion.
Every other sport.
And you're a national champion.
Yeah.
I think there should be some money with national champion.
So.
What I'm trying to say to you, this is not, you just won Bankstown RSL clubs, bodybuilding comp.
Casual.
Okay, that's okay. That's casual. But when I think these guys need to...
Up there with the best in the country.
I think money should be involved.
Absolutely.
Because
I think so too.
I think you are the... Yeah, all right, maybe first, second, and third. All right, forget about the rest. I'm not worried about that. No, we don't want participation awards.
No.
But I feel like, you're state champion. You're overall champion.
You should deserve a little something.
Fuck, you're national champion.
Yeah.
Like, come on, $10,000 check at least.
You'd think so.
Don't you think?
It'd be nice.
I think it'd be fucking great.
Yeah, it'd give
because you're going to reinvest it into the sport anyway.
Well,
because that's
exactly
why
right.
that's why they gave you a pro card at the end if you win it.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is, I don't know. I was telling Chris, I'd like to do but you never know. But I'd love to put a worldwide comp together.
Okay.
I've never shared this.
Okay.
Like someone's going to listen and take our idea, Chris. Should I share it? Chris doesn't even know what the fucking idea is. He's going, what the fuck is the idea? I would love to put a comp that has no real federation to it.
Okay.
Not even a pro status.
Right.
Just one show.
Yeah.
$1 million win.
Yeah?
Imagine that.
That would be cool.
Imagine everyone coming to win the $1 million.
Everyone will be in it.
Like you can be natural, geared up, fucking A and Bs, fucking NPCs, IFBBs. There's no fucking certificate. We're not going to give you no fucking pro card. You just come for one big Grand Prix.
See who's the best.
Could you imagine $1 million?
Yeah.
The prize money.
You could do a lot with $1 million.
Imagine, blow the Arnold's away, blow Olympia away. $1 million. Imagine everyone around the world, one arena.
Yeah.
Huh?
That'd be the dream.
Fuck. You do a 2-day event.
Yeah, you'd have
and
to.
you just play. And the girls get something and the guys get something. I don't know if men's physique's going to last. The way they're talking at the moment.
The way Arnold's going.
Oh, my God. And everyone now, it's a complete debate. It's hilarious. I think Arnold stirs trouble, man.
Oh,
I think
it's always been his nature.
He knows what he does.
It's always been his nature.
He's a publicity guy.
He is.
He's very smart.
Smart.
Too smart. Ed Connors said that. Well, I had Ed Connors on.
Okay.
He's the godfather of bodybuilding.
Right.
And he's the one that started Gold's Gym and then turned it into a 500-something franchise.
Yeah, cool.
And then sold it for a lot of money.
Lots.
But he said there's no one like Arnold. And there's not. In this sport, for a bodybuilder to become biggest action blockbusting character from bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Lou Ferrigno became the Hulk and I know, but no bodybuilder has gone from Austria to become, to get into politics as well.
Exactly what
to do everything. He's like, he's a freak.
Yeah.
You can never, to me, not even C-Bum can mimic that. C-Bum might be the greatest thing at the moment, and same as, same as, what's his name? Sulik, whatever.
Sulik.
But what I'm getting at is, but what I'm saying is probably C-Bum. The reason C-Bum is good is he's also known to non-bodybuilders.
Correct.
That's what's good about him.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Sam Sulik is known to non-bodybuilders too. That's the truth. And Callum, your idol.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
To non-bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And chest bras.
Yeah.
But is.
Yeah.
Not much. I'm not saying chest bras. We're trying to get him on too. But not to say he's not popular. I like his style. Don't worry. I don't care who you are. But he's that guy.
Yeah.
Certain people, but Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Like.
You can't duplicate that.
You can't.
It's just his persona and
just
how he carries himself out, I guess.
I don't know if there'll ever be like an Arnold ever coming through. You can be Ronnie Coleman winning the most Olympias you can be, all the rest.
Yeah.
But this Arnold guy just had the charm.
His personality is what drove him to being realistically who he is today, with that sort of arrogance. I wouldn't say. I guess you could say a bit of cockiness about him.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, personally, I'm just saying I don't like him what he spoke about in COVID times with his fucking cigar and the fucking pool calling us losers.
Yeah.
Calm down, Arnold.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a fucking pool at the house.
We're not all Arnold, which is cool.
I'm not cashed up either, Arnie. Paid up either.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well.
He's
doing real well.
But the thing is, you know, and with Arnie, because like I said, podcast is about anything conversation.
Yeah.
We're not even going to use the script. But Arnie, man, back in the day, like I said, because I was, how old are you?
25.
Fuck it, these guys look so much older, man. Not good. I look younger. I look younger than all of you guys. But having said that, back in the day, the great thing about bodybuilding was they created a real art. So in other words, the posters we had up on the boards, up on our walls, they were fucking, they're like pictures of them like doing most muscular, but they're in a gym that looks like a nuclear bomb hit it.
Yeah.
They had towels next to them, but they were the posters. They sat on Harley Davidsons.
Yeah.
And they had this beautiful fucking blonde or brunette with her legs wrapped around them. And he just went, like you just wanted that just package. The whole fucking, you wanted his pecs. You wanted the fucking chick. Yeah. And you wanted the bike. And the funniest thing is, in Terminator 2, where he rides that.
The Harley,
the fat boy.
Yeah.
I've got the same model, but mine's ruby red on red.
Yeah, no shit.
I didn't get it because of Arnold.
Yeah.
I didn't get it because Arnold had it. But I've got one.
Yeah, cool.
It's a 91 Fat Boy, but it's that was a phenomenal time when the Fat Boy started.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, the posters, man.
Yeah.
And even then, to us, even if we didn't know the bodybuilder, but he had big fucking guns.
You just see
he's on a soft tail.
Yeah.
And he's riding down the highway and there's this blonde and her hair's all brunette and her hair's going everywhere.
Yeah.
That was up on our walls.
Yeah, you just like,
so there was a picture like of the pecs, the guns, the fucking legs in the jeans.
Everything,
they weren't
wants.
pencil legs. They weren't European legs.
Filling them out.
Legs. They weren't anything like that.
Yeah.
They were fucking just,
you
know.
Sick.
Like.
It's just what every bloke wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened now? Now it's like, fuck, what is it now? You know? Yeah. Sam Sulek drinking chocolate milk.
Yeah. It's a complete different what would you call it, scene? You know?
It was just,
I guess it's that old school sort of like.
They're sitting in Corvettes.
Yeah.
They're fucking sitting in the Corvette and their abs are showing.
Yeah.
And like that.
Yeah.
And again, a girl next door again. Some red 1969 Corvette.
Yeah.
Like that's what we knew. Yeah. And we didn't even know, how the fuck do we get that?
Just keep going to the gym.
Fucking gym hard, the gym. Fucking save your money. We've got to get a Corvette.
Yeah.
Got to get a muscle car. Got to get a muscle car. Yeah, and then where we failed the most was confidence to go talk to the girls. Now I fucking got to get some confidence.
You got to go and talk to them.
I got to go talk to girls. Got the car, got the pecs. I can't even talk to them.
Hardest part.
That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part,
yeah.
man, is to talk to the girls.
It's crazy.
What do you like talking to the girls?
Me?
Yeah.
I get a bit nervous.
Do you get a bit nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you like talking to the girls?
I guess I get a bit nervous.
You get a bit nervous?
I think that's normal, you guys.
It is. I think because I'm a bit older and wiser, and you get that with it. You know what it is? You got to know. You got to pick the worst outcome before you do it. So you got to. So if you want to talk to a girl, the first thing you got to say is, "Yeah, she doesn't want to talk to me." That's the first thing you say to yourself, right? The second thing you say to yourself. The second thing you say to yourself, she's going to flick me.
Yeah.
And that's when you go, I'm going.
Because if it goes bad, then you're like, I've seen this coming.
That's how you got to go.
You can't go wrong.
And you got to also assess the room. Not assess the room. Look, I'm talking about picking up chicks. But what I'm saying is assess the area. Sometimes I have. Like I've looked at a girl I want to talk to and I've seen her go to the bar. I'm saying, okay.
Yeah.
And she's looking at the cocktail list and I go, now's my chance.
Yeah.
So I'll go up and I'll just go like that and I'll just go, what cocktail do you like?
Yeah.
That's where I start.
Yeah.
But I always think to myself, she ain't going to talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get rejected.
Okay. There you go.
I always think, and that doesn't, Nice talking to you. See you later. And I go back.
And then you
That's
go
like, if you think, oh, no, you know, you just got to say, ain't going to talk to me.
Yeah.
Tail between my legs and walk.
Because anything that's a positive, it's a win.
Just a simple hello and a smile at you've won.
It's the way to do it.
You go, she's told me the cocktail I should get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Making it easy.
And the biggest thing is the finish of it. If they really don't want to talk to you, just say when she tells you which cocktail is nice, and you go, oh, okay. And then when you order and she orders hers, you just pay for both and say, see you later.
Yeah.
And you'll never be forgotten. You'll never be forgotten. You just got to wait for a podcast to hear your name. Some female podcast. I just got to wait for it.
Yeah.
It's probably already been on. It's already been on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This is a Steve podcast. Steve's educational podcast. All right. Second pin. Here you are, 8th of January. My name's Ethan. And welcome to Established Fitness.
Yeah.
You're getting out of this fucking hatchback boot.
Yeah.
I think a Harley Davidson and a Corvette would have been.
Yeah, we're going to get the Corvette.
You need to change it, mate. You need to get out of these fucking hatchbacks, guys. Just fucking rock up in a Harley with some brunette on the back.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter if you pay her. Just do the right thing for bodybuilding, right, guys?
Bring it back.
Yeah, tell us about Establishment Fitness and Nutrition. It's your baby, I believe, or is it, are you the head coach? What is that?
Yeah, so it's basically like all through my bodybuilding time, as short as it is, I've always had a passion for it and I've always loved learning about it too.
Yeah.
So, just along the way, I've sort of always found myself helping friends.
Yeah.
Just sort of, little tips here and there, then it started branching into like meal plans, training plans, stuff like that. And then an idea came to us where we were like, why don't we actually make this into something? You know what I mean? And it's fun. It's not one of those big grand, things. It's just more something that I enjoy doing. Obviously with being a full-time carpenter as I am at the moment, it's more just something like that I do to help people. I've never had that ambition to make $1 million. You know what I mean? I don't see a passion in making a lot of money for it. It's more or less
You and Chris should hang out.
Well, it's just the satisfaction of helping people. Do you know what I mean? It's how I sort of like to approach certain things. Just not focusing on the money, but it's good. It's just helping people. I've got a few people now.
So have you've done a course?
Yeah.
You're a personal trainer?
Yeah.
You're qualified?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. You've done that recently, I'm assuming as well?
Yeah, I was doing it through end of last year. I was doing my certs and stuff like that through that. While doing other work as well. So that was obviously a bit of a chaotic time, trying to juggle all that and do obviously a full-time job and stuff like that. But I essentially, because I have a passion for it, being busy doesn't
help.
It doesn't like play on my head all that much because I enjoy doing it. Do you know what I mean? I look forward to doing it. So it doesn't feel like a job or a chore to me. Essentially, it's like I have an opportunity to help someone. Yeah, which is what makes me feel better about it. Yeah,
look, it looks like I said. I looked at it quickly. You don't have a lot going on there, and I thought it was a good ad. It was a funny ad. Made me laugh.
Yeah.
And go for it. Look, do you know when it's an overnight success?
Do you know when?
Do you know when it is an overnight success? 5 years in, 10 years in.
Yeah, righto.
That's when overnight success.
Yeah.
Overnight success is no such thing as an overnight success.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's an overnight. I'm waiting for an overnight success.
Yeah.
But that's and actually, you actually don't know. Like when we started the podcast or anything I do, some of it I don't even know what I'm doing.
No.
But the repetitive actions and the general fundamental business attitudes, like if you incorporate being a chippy into that business, then your business will work.
Yeah.
Because a chippy would be, you start at 7 o'clock predominantly.
Yeah.
And you finish at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might stay back because you want to do extra work.
Yeah.
And you hate maybe quoting jobs and you hate writing invoices.
Yeah.
And writing quotes.
Yeah.
But you want to be on the tools because that's where you're creating something and there's a monetary return.
Yeah.
Same thing with this.
Yeah, well, that's exactly
so
right.
So if you just put that practice into this thing, so just, and if you don't really, I know you got this go with the flow, which can work, but it seems like you just started it.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
it's only started
It's only just started.
January.
Yeah, so what I mean is just, just keep chipping away.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I've always thought
I think
about
that's
never really sort of had that ambition to be like, all right, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to have, like you said, the overnight success. It's not like that. You know what I mean?
I'm just letting you know.
Some people get lucky and it hits.
When you really hear overnight successes, if you sat down with the person that
and
they said he didn't mention it as a people go, it sounds like an overnight success. You go and see how many businesses they failed.
Yeah.
They found that. So it's all a training platform.
Yeah.
I tried to sell this and it didn't work.
Okay.
And then I decided to sell this and it happened overnight.
Yeah.
But I was still trying to sell something previous.
Yeah.
So it's still a process of some kind of overnight success.
Absolutely.
It's just that whatever you jumped on become an overnight success.
Sometimes you might not even see it coming.
Yeah, half of like I was saying, even Sam Sulek we spoke about and being his following, I don't think he doesn't curate, produce, put anything. He just sat there with a camera, and even when you think about why the hell did he think he should talk into a camera? It doesn't look like, it looks a bit introvert kind of guy, but he probably generational decided to talk a bit, and then somehow it got grabbed and moved and blew up, and it's unstoppable. And he can't even change it.
Yeah, his style of videos is so mundane.
Yeah,
it's just so simple and so easy to watch because it's just like nothing. It's not that there's crazy music and all that sort of stuff going on. It's literally just him talking to the camera and training. And I feel like a lot of people could sort of resonate with that because, as much as it is good to watch, YouTube videos where it's like a lot going on, music and that sort of stuff. It's just simple watching. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? And I think that's what it is. Like even this podcast, like what's going to make the podcast success? I can never tell you.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of people, someone said to me, some people said, even Chris once said, like, you got to try to get the podcast done under an hour. And I said, mate, I don't know anyone that grabs a podcast and in the first 5-10 minutes, they've either like it or they don't.
Yeah.
And if they do like it, they don't finish it in one day. They don't even finish it in one sitting. No. Usually you watch it.
Yeah.
And YouTube allows you to go back to it when you press on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you watched it in the morning before going to work in your truck, so you close it because you can't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on your way home, you go, fuck, I might get back to that podcast. Yeah. And on your way home, you're listening to another 40 minutes and you switch off. And then you might be in bed and I go, I might listen to it.
Well, it's essentially like a book.
It is.
You know what I mean? You're not going to smash a book out and, well, some people might.
Yeah.
But you're not going to sit down and read a book for 2 hours and expect to smash it out.
I'm going to use that on Chris because he keeps telling me to do shit. But I'll just say to you, you don't get anything in an hour. Like if you look at a podcast, honestly, if you look at something and it says, Joe Rogan speaks to so-and-so in 45 minutes, that's just one topic.
Yeah, there's not much depth to it.
Yeah, there's a topic. Yeah. It's not it's not a real podcast. You're just going to get a topic.
It's just a conversation.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I never know how long we should go for, but we seem to be hitting the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, do what you enjoy.
Like I said, I think it's working. Post again, 17th of February. Still got arms that won't fill out that sleeve in your shirt. I got you. So there's the problem and the answer. The problem is too much movement in the shoulders.
Yeah.
No stability and no tension in desired muscle group. And then the answer is shoulders rolled back and braced.
Yeah.
Eliminate all use of movement and consistent tension in desired muscle.
Yeah.
Definitely old school wasn't like that. We used to swing like
just
crazy.
Throw it around.
Throw it around.
Yeah.
Is there moments where we can throw things around? And
of course.
What I'm getting at is, I guess there is still a bracing moment, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
Even when you're swinging. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I sort of adapt to like a bit from each. Like I obviously like to do like the science-based, evidence-based, whatever you want to call it, training methods. But with that, you also need to have that old school mentality of just doing the damn thing. Do you know what I mean? You see a lot of young kids coming into the gym. A lot of people talk about it these days, is a lot of young kids coming to the gym and they're trying to target the perfect muscle group and stuff like that. And it's like, if you've got the muscle tissue to do so, right? But if you're just starting out the gym, you don't have the tissue. Do you know what I mean? You might have a little bit going for you, but you need to do, you know, what the stupid training that the guys used to do back in the day.
A
what
lot
they
of stupid
say.
training.
Yeah. But it's like, you got to do both. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it works. You know, like I did a lot of, like in my early years of bodybuilding, I did all my own training. I had no idea what I was doing.
No one does.
No idea what I was doing. I didn't follow.
And there's still results coming.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right. That's where you lay the foundation.
Yeah.
Doing whatever you think's right. You know, you go in there and just be like, fuck it, I feel like training arms. So you go in there, you're throwing around the 20 kilo fucking dumbbells when you have no right to do so. But it's you know,
you're fucking bending over.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But you get it up. But like, yeah, I found that you like I said, I've done a few decades in it. Very natural. And if I said to you, there's been where I haven't trained for years. Maybe I got into business and business took too much of my time. I couldn't train, but I couldn't wait to get back in.
Yeah.
Maybe there's moments where my relationship's taking up too much of my time and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Maybe when I first became a dad, took too much time.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everyone says, you know, go to the gym, you know, la, la, la. But the thing is, I've always loved the gym. I've always couldn't wait to go back, but I never felt like I was a stranger when I went back.
No.
I could take a year off and as soon as I touch the weights, I'm home.
It's like riding a bike.
I'm home, man. I never forget. Even when, I've had a business, didn't train for, I think, the first 3 years because I got a business in 30, right?
Okay.
And as soon as I went back in, I was like, oh, we are back.
Yeah.
And I was straight away moving. But actually having time away got me to think about, you know, how I trained before, how I train now. But everything, like I said, it's such a, what I'm getting is bodybuilding is such a long game.
It is.
And if anyone believes that you can do 1 year straight, 2 years straight, 3 years straight with not missing a week, not missing your rest day, and eating perfect and not having grog, and some girl or guy taking your attention away. You've done nothing in a year, man, even if you stuck to it. This is such the longest game.
It is, man. It is.
And that's what I love about it, because I'm like 55 and coming to Metroflex, seeing you guys, but listening to you guys in this podcast, I've gone like, fuck, I've got so many things wrong. But also, God, so many things were right.
Yeah.
And now, like, I never knew, you know, reps in reserve. We fucking never knew what reps in reserve were.
Yeah, it's a new concept.
But that's a big talk at the moment, right? Reps in reserve is the biggest topic at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was like I said, there's been a lot. Like even in the few years I've been doing the podcast, there's always a new trend. But reps in reserve. But I've realised, I'm ready. I just used to think, you know, 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 12.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how many did I do before? I can't do, like. It was just, everything is so calculated.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's the moment.
Yeah.
It's in the exercise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like if you've put, you know, you're benching 40 kilos dumbbells and you could only get to 8 and you think, I'm going to grab the 50s now.
Yeah.
And if they take you to 10, you're going to 10. You don't have to stop at 6 or 8, but you do think to yourself, I just have to do 6 here. But you just, again, it's just, I just realized, and that's how we trained before, and I never realized it, but in the early days, I keep telling people this, we were afraid of bodybuilding.
Right.
When we rocked up, it was pain.
Yeah.
It was nothing else.
It's very,
you know? Even a serving tray. Usually, it must seem... Difference between Greeks and Macedonians, we use a silver tray.
Thank
you
so
go,
much.
we go a bit up, guys. He's gone timber. That's awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Very good.
So what I mean by that is, you know, training wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I know it was not meant to be fun.
Yeah.
So when we rocked up, we'd go.
You got a job to do.
We'd rock up and we'd be miserable.
Yeah.
Oh man, what? Fuck, chest today. Oh, fuck, okay, man. Legs. Fuck off.
The dreaded leg days.
But everything was sad.
Yeah.
Because we went in and annihilated.
Yeah.
But the difference there was, and I was telling George Adams last week.
Oh, yeah.
everyone goes, but you went to the gym for 2 hours. We did.
Yeah.
But sometimes we had to sit down before the next rep because we blew ourselves out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you weren't allowed to go to the gym without spotting.
No.
And you had to ask people to spot, even strangers. I'd come up to you, and it doesn't matter if I don't know you.
Yeah,
it was etiquette.
Yeah.
Excuse me, mate. Do you mind spotting? I'm doing bench. And you go, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like you just didn't think.
Yeah.
You always had to get spotted.
You just do it.
And you had to spot. So everyone did failure.
Everyone's there to
It was
go.
just failure
Yeah.
to failure to failure. And the funny thing is, if we smashed chest, smashed
Just
it,
throwing it.
we'd go, all right, let's go sit. We sit down
Yeah.
in the waiting area
Uh-huh.
for 20 minutes to let the body rest before we did shoulders or biceps. We never went straight away into it.
Okay.
So we had to sit down, and we
Yeah.
thought we'd have to rest the body.
Yeah.
So we'd sit there, peel a banana. We'd do bananas, rice cakes.
Yeah.
And we go, you ready for arms? He goes, another 5 minutes.
Another-
Because we're going to go kill ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why it was 2 hours.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And gyms shut at 9 o'clock, man, and didn't open it. Like we fitted it in, but if it wasn't like 40-minute workout, mate, you can get it done in 50. I know. No, it wasn't. You're breaking a muscle.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
But it was that.
Yeah, and that's how everyone trained back then.
That's how we trained, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was. We didn't care if we got there at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the gym shut at 9 o'clock. We didn't care. We're here for
Train
2
with the
hours.
lights off.
We took the lights go off. We didn't care.
Yeah.
We cared if we got there at 8:15 and we knew it shut at 9. We'd do something different.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't We had nowhere to go. There was no cafes, mate. No gelato bars.
Yeah.
It wasn't, burger places everywhere. We just, it wasn't even the internet. We just rock up. Don't burn your lips, okay? It's hot. Like I said, it's going to make you a man. But that's, I suppose what we're saying here is, but it's true, the stability part I have to agree with. Movement of shoulders, I agree with, because sometimes I try to go too heavy and thinking, it doesn't matter if I got a bit of a swing, but you kind of got to work out stability is very important.
It's just more efficient way of training, realistically.
But I
Getting
also
the most out of what you're doing.
But I found at the moment, I think at the moment I'm finding is staying into the exercise.
Yeah.
That one set can be the deal maker.
It is.
Sometimes you can do 3 sets, but that you could have forgot the first 2.
Yeah.
Because you weren't focused. But if you just find yourself in that one, and you push reps in reserve and you apply it, I think the job's done. Because you're going to, like I said, you're going to another exercise. So I found that's probably why you guys compete, and a lot of competitors is the focus.
Yeah.
It's not just bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It's
there's more to it.
Fucking in every fucking time, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
You're in.
Consistent.
You're in.
Always.
You're in. Don't disturb me.
Yeah.
You're in.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Don't
Yeah.
talk to me.
yeah. I never realised that. That's what makes guys that go on stage compared to just guys that go to the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, don't disturb you guys.
Yeah.
How do you improve your back, mate, eh? 3 simple tips.
Yeah.
And there you are at Metroflex.
Yeah.
Stop fixating on how much you lift. Yeah. Perform rep correctly. Target muscle. Pull in your elbows. Brace your core prior to lifting. Yeah. Sloppy body posture. No good.
No good. Can't have it.
Is it so? Then tell me, what is an ego lift?
An ego lift.
What is an ego?
I feel
lift?
like it's something we're all guilty of, especially
What is a fucking ego lift?
when you just have this hyper fixation on I need to lift X amount of weight.
Yeah.
That was how I used to sort of think in my training. My early training years was, if I want to get big, I have to lift the heaviest weight possible. And that's where it boils back down to poor lifting technique. You're just essentially throwing the weight around and you're not actually targeting what you're supposed to be targeting. I learnt a lot of that from watching C-Bum's training videos.
Okay, yeah.
How he trains, essentially. He's not trying to throw around the biggest weights in the gym, right? He's trying to find the most efficient way of, utilizing the weight correctly, training in proper technique, targeting the right muscles. That's when you're going to get the most out of your muscle growth, because you're essentially targeting the muscle group you want to grow, right? So when you're, trying to dumbbell row 90 kilo dumbbells, you're not, you'll get a percentage of the muscle group that you're trying to target, but you're using your whole fucking body trying to row this thing, and it's like, could you do it a more efficient way? And another thing too is the stress it puts on your joints, your body. You know, if you're executing your lifts correctly with a lighter weight, still in a position where you're driving muscle growth, but you're not putting all this stress and, like problems on your joints and stuff like that. Like squatting, perfect example. You know, you see dudes throwing plates and plates and plates on a barbell. And it's like, yeah, but think about how much weight you're putting on your knees. Do you know what I mean? You know, you could substitute it for a lot more efficient ways. Therefore, you'll last longer in the sport.
Hey, I'm Jamie from Pawtion.
And I'm Steve, Muscle Talks Podcast.
And we heard that you guys are very into clean eating for yourselves, so we figured we'd educate you a bit about clean eating for your dogs. That's why Pawtion has decided to partner with Muscle Talks and give you promo code MuscleTalks25 for 25% off your first order at pawtion.com.au. That's pawtion.com.au.
And if you continue ordering through Pawtion, please use Muscle Talks 10, and that gets you with continued orders 10% off. We're quite excited to be part of Pawtion. I've got a few dogs running around us just as I talk now. So please support not only good eating for ourselves, but I'm sure you want to promote good eating for your loved one, your pet, your dog. So go to pawtion.com.au and use for your first order Muscle Talks 25 to get 25% off your first order, and then continued orders Muscle Talks 10.
Oh, yeah. Look, thankfully...
Ronnie Coleman's a prime example. You know, he's done fantastic with his career.
Oh,
but you look at him now and you're like, you watch videos of him deadlifting stupid weights. Did it work for him? Absolutely. But
there was consequences.
There is always consequences.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I think as well, there's a few things. One, sometimes you just don't know what's the right weight. You check out before you even touch it. Sometimes I want to go heavy and I'm checked out.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. It's like fucking skydiving sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You go like, I think I can do more on the squats. And you go, but I'm scared if I get sick.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difference with bodybuilding today to bodybuilding in the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you an example. Yesterday I went to the gym, Metroflex. I walk in and there was a few boys talking.
Yep.
So there was 5 guys. 5.
Yep.
And I went, hey guys, hey, so how you going? And one guy literally was on his phone, you know.
Headphones on.
Right, like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, and even when I was saying, oh, this guy, look, I mean, he's not even hearing our conversation. And he wasn't. He was like, couldn't hear it, right? So he was on his phone.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, I've watched at Metroflex guys pushing heavy weights and their mates are there but not there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching the guy, he's like, and I think, fuck, just a bit. He's got it up.
A little bit of help.
And he could probably do another one.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'll race over sometimes just to help.
Yeah.
But these guys are on their phone, and even if they're not, they're like...
That's what I loved about watching Pumping Iron and stuff like that growing up. You see them all training together, and they're like, even the spot, they're in it.
That's what I said to you.
Too. So it's like you're constantly like, you and your training partner are there to train.
And you just knew you could load the weight up.
Gives a little bit of layer of confidence.
Yeah, go to the stranger.
Yeah.
So he could be doing chest.
Yeah.
He's the first one on your eyes.
Yeah.
You go over, excuse me, mate, I'm just going to do a big squat. Can you spot me? He goes, no worries. And literally... You're strapping up and doing everything, and he's ready, and he'll tell you what do you want, and you say, and the first thing they're doing is talking to you in your ear, motivating you. So we knew how to motivate.
Yeah, get you revved up.
But today, I'm not trying to blame the kids, but because they've got distractions on their phones.
Yeah.
No one's watching the guy doing the weights.
Nah.
We watched everyone doing the weights. We'd watch because I guess we didn't have phones, but we go,
absolutely,
man, the chest. Oh, look at the center of the chest. Yeah. Oh, wow, the shoulder. We just kept looking and talking. No one looked around the room. Everyone just kept looking at each other. Everyone's looking at each other's body. Oh, wait, I'll spot you. Come on, another 2, man. Another 2.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that was reps in reserve.
Everyone's just pushing everything to failure.
It was just that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you weren't allowed to say no. No one could come up to you and go, and you weren't scared.
Yeah.
Like some guy will go, oh, can you spot me? And you look at what he's going to spot. And you look at it and you go, no joke, you'd go, I got you, man. No worries. We're going to fucking lift this. And you've already motivated him.
Yeah.
So it was like your job was as a spotter
to motivate
and get the fucking job done.
100%.
Now they're quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like people are.
Do you want me to help you? Yeah, just help me quickly. It's like, you can hear a pin drop. Nobody's talking.
They're not doing much. They're not doing much.
Nothing's happening. When's he going to spot me, this guy? You start panicking yourself.
Yeah, full freaking out.
You know, is he going to get in at the right time?
That's when you start doubting yourself.
But the spotters were, like I said to you, it was a prerequisite. It was a rule.
100%.
At the gym. If you said no, you were a fucking exile from the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a rule.
Yeah.
There was a rule. And we'd, it was like spotting was, and that's what I'm saying. I guess they keep talking about. I don't know what ego lifting is.
Yeah.
But like I said, back then we ego lifted, but we didn't know. But we put measures around us. Like I said, people spotting, and everyone was invested. There was no phones. No one had headphones on. Everyone was like,
everyone's there to try.
Everyone's there, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like it was just in. You just helped your mate. Now, like I said to you, I watch guys going to die, and I'm going, and his mate's there on his phone, like listening, like
checking his DMs,
listening to a song, talking to chicks, and the guys show trembling.
Yeah,
just fucking help this guy. I've ever walked past and go, mate, what are you doing, boys? Get in there.
Yeah,
but and the funniest thing is, everyone loves the posing room.
Yeah.
God, they love the pose.
Yeah.
I got to say, some of the guys that pose, and I think, man, good. Like, I don't know if there's anything there, but I think, wow, like I love your confidence.
Yeah,
I wish I had your confidence.
Yeah,
because I did one post recently of the posing room, but I did myself a mile away, and it's literally blurry.
Yeah,
I said that's enough. For now. Yeah. I can't do any more. I haven't got rid of the love handles yet. I don't know how these guys do. Here we go. Where are we? There you are posing away on the 23rd of the 12th, 2024, and haters will say this is fake. And this is Donald Trump.
Trump.
That was a good one, man. I like it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was funny. So you like a bit of comedy, yeah?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
It resonates with my personality. Just having fun with everything, Not taking life too seriously.
Yeah, I think maybe bodybuilding suits you pretty much to a T. Because are you a shy guy?
Born in the Shire.
No, shy. Are you shy?
Oh, shy? In a way, yeah. Essentially. More introverted.
Introverted?
An introverted extrovert.
But how do you guys sit there and fucking pull your dacks down and sit there in your knickers? Like, do you forget you're wearing knickers?
I don't know.
Like everyone's...
Yeah, it's such...
Firstly, some people should fucking fix their knickers. And I think if you're going to do it... Get some designers on, get some Calvins on, get some, and a little bit tighter, maybe not so looking like they've been washed 10,000 times. But I don't know how you guys do it. Like literally in the posing room, you've pulled off your tracksuit, they've pulled down the tracksuit. The tracksuit's off.
Yeah.
The shirt's off.
Yeah.
They've just got their socks on, their knickers.
Yeah.
They're posing away.
Yeah.
I think to myself, and they're going, and we're going to post it.
Yeah.
But I'm shy.
Yeah.
A little bit introvert.
Yeah. That was the weirdest concept with me. Getting on stage, like leading into the show, I've always thought, how the fuck am I going to go getting in front of a crowd full of people in undies?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just, like, the whole concept of that was like, that is something I would never have thought about doing.
And how did you combat that?
Just fucking did it. Just, once you're in the moment, you're like, all right, this is what I got to do.
Was it, let's get into the comp bit. So your first comp in Sydney.
Yep.
Leading up to it,
yep,
you changed coaches.
Yep.
Why?
I just sort of wanted to see the different outlook of coaching, see what other options were available. More so from a different knowledge standpoint, I feel like there's...
But when you were going towards the comp, you had a certain coach. You committed with this coach and said, I'm going to compete.
Yep.
And they said, we're in.
Yep.
But what was it about halfway through for you to change that you needed more inside a comp moment?
I just felt
Did you feel like the coach just didn't have the knowledge what you wanted?
Yeah.
Or you were like, no offense to anyone. Not everyone is a competing coach.
Yeah.
And not everyone's a posing coach. And not everyone, they just say they are.
Yeah.
And everyone's training
Yeah.
Fat Michael and Fat Susan.
Yeah.
Every personal trainer thinks they've got fucking every six-pack and girl with the biggest booty.
Yeah.
But most people are overweight, tired, miserable, and they're trying to fix their lives.
Yeah.
So it's not these glamours and people coming in even your partner saying, I hate you training girls. Come and see the girls I train. I hate you training boys.
Yeah.
Come and see the boys I train.
Yeah.
They're not Ethan.
Yeah.
They're not Jacksons.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's not so much I didn't have confidence in the trajectory that we were heading with where we were at. It was more, what's more? You know, like, where could I learn more? Is there a more of efficient way to go about this?
And how did you know about that in halfway through?
Just speaking to other people, getting other ideas from other people, sort of how they would have approached certain aspects of comps and stuff like that. And I thought that's what made me think. I was like, oh, you know, maybe there's more to learn, you know.
How did your coach feel when you changed him?
Well, we don't really.
It's like a fucking.
We don't really.
Is that the relationship you didn't want to talk about?
No, we.
We'll talk about. I'll bring up a relationship that we.
We don't really. We don't talk that much.
Yeah. Personal trainers are like big relationships. Like, there's a breakup in it.
Yeah.
You know, and not even talking anymore.
Yeah.
Ghosting and all that stuff. It seems interesting.
It but how I seen it was more of like a business thing. You know, like. More,
tough, man.
It is tough, but it's you know.
Yeah, I'm saying it's tough in many aspects. I think you need to have a reality.
Yeah,
I think even coaches, even
it's
you
like changing careers and stuff like that. You know, you might think you're on the right path of what you want to do, and then you get halfway through and be like, oh shit, maybe I want to go this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
maybe personal trainers need to know what business is.
Oh, business is a massive aspect of everything.
No, but what I'm trying to say to you is you're a chippy.
Yeah.
You could be doing halfway through a job and they say, look, I'm not happy with your work. I'm going to get another
absolutely.
And you drive off and you're not going to, you just, but the thing is in bodybuilding, everyone takes it personal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone should
cries about it.
Yeah. What I'm saying is everyone should look at what trades and fucking business is like. 1 minute you got a customer and someone came in cheaper and you've lost that customer.
100%. That's life.
Yeah. Or they don't like the workmanship you're doing and you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Or they're fucking on top of you.
Absolutely.
Or you just don't get on.
Yeah. That's it.
But you don't turn around and fucking, you know, think I'm lucky. You just take it as a business fucking transaction. We're done.
It's exactly right.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And sometimes when you walk away, you realise, well, you know, the guy came in cheaper, or I stuffed that deal up, didn't I? I went.
It's the reality of it.
Yeah, it's not always like you. Maybe that coach, it's him, but he's got to also realise, you know, you're not going to pay the superannuation. You're not going to. It's not the finish of everything. It's the start of something, and maybe losing a client halfway through should be
that's the aspect of everything.
Aspect of how do I next time not have that happen, and maybe we start from the beginning and
that's business.
It's business.
Business comes and goes. You know, like you said, you could be halfway through something, the client might not be happy with where you're at, so they go with someone else. And I see it. It's just the way that it is.
Mate, you just need to, you just got to keep like it is. And so when you went with the new coach, was that a new lease of positive, not just positivity, a new lease of, okay, we're on the right track here now. But you had to really pull yourself in quickly, didn't you? You had only, 12 weeks?
12 weeks, yeah.
And that was...
We had a lot of ground to cover in 12 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of ground, but more than what was expected to do. And George, who was my coach that I signed with, he filled me with a lot of confidence, and I could see the knowledge that he had, and I was like, all right, I'm in good hands here. You know what I mean? We sort of, obviously the situation wasn't ideal, being 12 weeks out, starting with a new coach. He has no data on me. He doesn't know what my body essentially does or how it acts. So it was a lot of trial and error leading into the show, and it was sort of less just making do with what we could. And I'm stoked with how it turned out. You know, could it have been better? Absolutely. But that's, you know, the situation you're handed with, and I feel like we handled it well.
What was the most surprising thing leading up to the show that you went like, fuck, I didn't expect this part?
Fuck, like the last couple of weeks of prep.
What was
it? Just the fatigue.
Yeah.
The brain fog, just feeling like death, tired constantly. The hard parts of prep.
Is there a lot of moments to break? Like just say, I'm out.
Absolutely.
If you want to.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a
lot.
What
keeps you there?
Just the love for it, I guess.
Well, you've never competed before, but like the coach as well, the trust into the coach, I guess, and that stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to recently a post, and they had Samson who was talking, and they were talking about trusting your coach.
You have to.
And he said, when you're a week out from a comp, or a couple of weeks out, you have no logic.
No.
He goes, you don't even trust yourself.
No.
He goes, the only person you trust is if the coach tells you, trust me.
Yeah.
Whether you trust him or not,
Yeah.
you just don't trust yourself.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
don't let me make the decision because I think I look like shit, or I think I'm not doing a good job,
Absolutely.
or I'm letting you down, or we're not going to turn up,
Yeah.
or I'm going to break this any moment. But
Yeah.
he said, if the coach says you look good,
Yeah.
you go, I look good.
That's what I loved about being with my coach, George. He made everything so simple. He laid everything out, all my meals, what I had to do. It was almost like I didn't have to think. I just do the thing. I just do the job. You know, I eat this. I do train. I do everything he tells me to do. You just do it.
Yeah.
And it takes the thinking out of it. And especially when you get to that point in prep where your brain is just mush, having that direction, someone telling you, all right, do this, makes it so much simpler.
Tell me, how do you, like, let's say also in training, besides diet, nutrition, how do they get you to, like, do they look at your body, obviously, I'm assuming, and then they say, look, we need to fix the sweep, so I need you to do these exercises?
Yeah.
And do they tell you reps to do, how to do it, like a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how that, and then, like,
There's a lot to it.
that's what I'm saying, and then you've got to do it, and then you've never done that exercise. You think, do I trust this guy?
Yeah.
Funny movement.
Yeah.
I fucking find my other one, I get a better pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to trust them.
That was the biggest thing for me, because before starting with my coach George, I did all my own training.
Yeah.
I sort of just would watch YouTube videos and watch C-Bum train, and I'm like, all right, sweet, that's what I'm going to do for my next back workout. And then it's like you just do 8 to 12 reps for everything, 3-4 sets, with everything. But then when you come across someone that's like, all right, no, we want to do 2 sets of 30 reps on this one, or 1 set of 6, you're like, this is different.
Yeah.
But then when you start seeing it and you're like, oh, okay, this is why, that's when I feel like you go, all right, sweet, I'm in safe hands here. There's a purpose and reason for what we're doing here.
I'm just wondering how they do it, because they talk about, he bring his back up in this show. Okay, how do you fucking bring his back up in literally 12 months or 6 months? How they, and just people coming in peeled and like, it's, I got to hand it to some of these coaches, but I guess
100%.
That's what I mean. I'm just saying, I'm not surprised. Like I said, you could start with a coach, but if they're not real competing coach, I mean, they can be, maybe they've taken some people there, maybe they're a family member or someone. But you really do need, well, I don't know how the fuck did all these other bodybuilders do it on their own without coaches?
No idea.
And without
it
anybody,
still amazes me to this day how they could do it.
I think their girlfriends or their partners or people around them, they just have to trust them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how they turned up, like Lee Priest and all these other people.
Yeah,
like,
all the old bodybuilders who used to just peak themselves, do all that sort of stuff. I'm just like, how?
How the hell?
Especially when you're in that point of prep where your brain's just practically non-existent. And it's like, how could you make the call, I need more carbs? Do you know what I mean? Or you could say, I'm a little bit flat here. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I guess also then they were really big on training partners. Do you know, we were all big on training. We never really wanted to train. Training on your own started like towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s, where people didn't train, like went to the gym by themselves.
Yeah.
But in the past, it was a duo team.
Yeah.
You always wanted to find a training partner.
Yeah.
And like I trained by myself.
Yeah,
I guess you train by yourself.
So do I.
But no, but I think with Lee and all them, they had training partners.
Yeah.
And so if they weren't competing, their bodybuilding mate got them there.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's how they worked it.
Yeah.
So their mates, their partners were their coaches, where we just go by ourselves and we don't want anyone to slow us down. But I think that's where coaches come into it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never thought about it till now.
There's a lot of science and knowledge behind it.
Yeah. No, I'm just, here you are. 20, this is your first post, mate. First post, Chris, 2022, 26th of the 2nd, 2022. You had no top on.
Yeah.
You're in some shorts. Converses were on.
Yeah.
He had some good size and shape. Caption, tunnel vision.
Yeah.
What tell us about that guy? Tunnel vision.
That was young Natty Ethan.
Natty.
Natural, yeah.
Natural.
Yeah, that was.
You look pretty good natural.
That's when I first started getting into bodybuilding. That was when, I was starting to go, oh, you know, I've actually got an interest in this sport. You know, this is what I want to do. So that's where it sort of all began, really. Yeah, like I said, just doing my own thing, training, nutrition, natural, just having fun for the sport. And then that was the era where I sort of was like, okay, you know, like this is what I want to do. This is where I can take this. And
you're 22, I think, maybe 21, 22, 22 years
22
old.
at the
Yeah,
time.
wow, so young.
So it was, about three years ago.
You guys for naturals are all pretty big for naturals, man. Must be the chicken. Girls have got bigger boobs too. Got to be the steroids in the chicken.
Yeah, something in the chicken.
Girls have got bigger tits, and the boys are bigger.
It's insane, eh?
I don't know if I could say that, but I did. Got good tits though. But anyway, and you guys look pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'll tell you why. Yeah, it's just girls have got bigger asses too. Everyone's gone bigger these days.
Everything's-
And everyone is happy to be bigger.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy to be bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did look pretty good. Then tell me, then what was it like to go on a cycle? And it's so funny because you guys speak about it so freely. And here we are on the camera talking about it clearly.
Yeah.
But if I took the juice, Chris, if you took steroids and your parents found out, let's just say, would your parents think you were a druggie? What?
Yeah.
You're taking steroids? Because they're Macedonian and Greeks. Oh my God, my son, he's gone to the devil. He's taking drugs.
Yeah.
But it seems like today everyone's like,
They'll do that for creatine.
huh?
They'll do that for creatine, for protein.
Anything.
I'll do that for creatine and protein.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's taking supplements.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the burek I make you? What's wrong with the burek? What's wrong with the burek I make you? But what I mean is, what makes you guys send yourselves to the devil?
Well, it was my shit, pardon me.
That's all right.
It was
This is your water, by the way.
Oh, thank you. With obviously wanting to compete in the IFBB, that was always what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And I knew that, you know, obviously that side of things was necessary to be successful in that sort of realm of bodybuilding. So obviously at the time I was like, oh, you know, I could do like an ICN show, something natural.
Yeah.
But in my head I was like, well, ICN isn't the end goal. The IFBB is the end goal, right? I want to be potentially a pro one day, get down that route of training and stuff like that, really. So in my head, I'm like, all right, well, if that's where I want to get, they're doing that, I have to too. Not that I was against doing it, but I was sort of like, oh, you know, like, what am I getting myself into here? A bit sort of sus. That's why I wanted to do it the right way. I wanted to go down the route of doing it properly. You know, you hear a lot of stories about young people these days, just, oh, old mate at the gym's taking this amount of that, so therefore that's what I got to do.
Oh, yeah, right.
I want to get as big as him, and that's what he's doing. So
It was a bit like that in the past.
well, that's the thing, and it's like
I think I did that at 49. No,
Everyone
I
does.
did.
Everyone
I mean, I went to the. Yeah, I mean, it was old school.
Yeah.
In the style of me doing it. But what I'm getting at is, well, do you know? Firstly, your mate Emmanuel Wardu.
yeah,
He got his pro card natural. So let's just in case anyone's listening.
yeah,
Emmanuel.
yeah.
Wardu got his pro card natural.
yeah.
I mean, it's possible to go to the IFBB natural.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
He's a genetic freak, though. You know what I mean?
he is. And he loves Chris Brown and he
Yeah.
likes to dance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a genetic freak. But he was a genetic freak. But like I said to you, so we don't think you need to go to the IFBB to be on the gear. I mean, we
course
should
not.
I'm just saying you're saying that, but let's make it clear.
Yeah.
IFBB doesn't mean gear.
No. Of course not.
No federation means gear, but the ones that don't take gear, it means no gear. We know that.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's a big step,
It is.
and I wonder how you guys process that. Like, what do you process? If you don't mind me asking, because I've never asked this question. When I thought about the gear, I thought about losing my nuts. I thought, but the gear was different back then. Maybe I was thinking about fertility.
Yeah.
I was thinking about bitch tits. That's what we called them back then.
Yeah.
I was just concerned about acne.
Yep.
I was concerned about, I mean, that's what we thought about. But besides putting on size,
Yeah.
right? And even when I did a cycle at 49, I did notice get some acne on my back, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw a few changes. But what I'm saying is, what makes you? How do you come to an educated decision? Because most of the times when we did decisions, they weren't so educated.
Yeah.
But today, you guys seem to be calculating this carefully. How do you calculate this to do like? What I'm getting is, are you actually seeking the right advice from the right people? Are you talking to the right people? Are you doing all the protocols?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're doing your bloods.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, what is it that makes you confident that that's not harming you?
Having a coach knowing what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my biggest thing. I never wanted to do it by myself.
Good idea.
Because obviously with me having such little time in this sport, I wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like if I can, it's a bit of a weird concept putting trust with this sort of situation in someone else. But if you have the confidence that they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing, that sort of makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. The whole concept of putting a foreign liquid in your own body, to me, was a bit weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a weird thing. But at the end of the day, you know, if you've got confidence in someone telling you that it's the correct way to go about it, like there's no guarantee it's going to be perfect. Like there's no guarantee it's going to be smooth sailing. Like obviously there is issues that you could potentially run into, but having someone with knowledge on how to navigate through those issues, to me, makes me feel 10 times more confident.
So you're telling me a guy that's driving a fluorescent Lamborghini with 10 chains around him, living out in the western suburbs, should be my coach on?
No, I probably wouldn't.
PEDs. God,
I personally
shows the wrong guy.
I probably wouldn't. personally.
Well, that's who we bought from in the past. Actually, you know. But no, it's true. I think as well, and I haven't studied it, but steroids is in everything, in all pharmaceutical stuff. Like people when they tear a muscle, ligaments, like they've been used for many beneficial reasons. There's even steroids in antibiotics, certain stuff.
Yeah, medications and stuff.
Yeah, so it can't be, like when I say it can't be that bad, I think it's bad. No, I'm not going to say that. What I'm saying is, I think we can make it worse than what it really is. I think we just need to be very calculating.
Yeah, you got to.
I think there's always fear factor, everything scares us.
Yeah.
But you just got to, I think, like you said, the right coach, doing the right thing.
Just
less is more.
The right approach.
The right
gentle,
approach.
You know, it's, you know, you could abuse alcohol, really. You know, I sort of refer it back to like drinking alcohol. You know, if you have a beer, you know, once or twice a week with dinner, is that going to kill you? But if you're doing 1 to 2 cases of beer a week, that's obviously going to be a lot worse for you.
That's a very good analogy.
So
I'm glad you shared it like that.
There's sort of ways you can go about it, you know.
No, I'm with you on that one. I think it's I think sometimes, like myself too, we could just become drama queens over stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, when I did it, I didn't even take bloods. I didn't do anything. I just fucking, you know, no offense to the Lebanese. I just went to one Leb mate, right? But no, like I said, I got Greeks. Don't worry, I love them all. But I trusted him because his brother competed.
Yep.
And I trusted him because I saw his body, but also trusted him. He was a bit of a, you know, just street smart like myself kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he wasn't out to fucking go nuts on me. He actually told me, what are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I played around with it and I found the experience amazing. I actually enjoyed the whole experience.
Oh,
it was what I saw in changing body. My warm-up set, so my personal best were my warm-up sets in the end, how strong I got.
Yeah.
But then I realised how ego gets involved as well. And then I got ego involved and then I blew myself out.
Yeah.
I wanted more. And he was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't listen to him. So once you start, when you don't listen to others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're not listening.
Because it's very easy to just be sort of in that mindset of like, oh, all right, I want more, so therefore I've got to do more.
It's like, getting a mate a beer. And he goes, oh, thanks for getting me the beer. And then he starts having 2 or 3 beers. You go, bloke, I just got you a beer.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing anything for? Like your analogy.
Yeah.
So you're saying, listen, man, like, just trust me. Let's just have a beer and we'll have another beer in 2 hours. Enjoy, sit back, enjoy the view, check the girls out, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, girls check the boys out. That's be sick. But yeah, I guess you're right. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think less is more, and just just run it accordingly. Like you said, don't abuse anything.
Yeah.
Because we abuse it. My second course of it, I did.
Well, it's like what we spoke about at the start. You know, it's a long duration sport.
It is
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So
well, it blew me out not to do it again the second time.
A lot of people sort of go, all right, I want that overnight success. I want the overnight results. And it's like, all right, sweet, for me to do that, I got to take X, Y, Z amount of what? And it's like, you're probably going to run into health issues.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know for myself, if I did decide to do another cycle, first thing is enough training under my belt, enough food under my belt, enough discipline under my belt. Because before there was nothing. I just
that was like with
me.
Besides
me having been training,
I
just said today. But today was everything.
Yeah.
Now I'd go like, no, we need to make sure I'm prepping food right, eating right, clean, headspace is right, everything's right.
Yep.
Enough months under my belt, and I think, all right, now we'll put a bit of supercharge.
Well, that was like with me. I was training for probably about 2 years naturally.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was, obviously there's no set point of your natural limit, but I felt like I was in a position where I was like, all right, sweet, I've got to where I'm comfortable with being naturally. Let's go into this.
Yeah.
You know, like my training's good, my diet's good. I've got the basics down pat, right? So that's when you can throw in the variables of doing that sort of stuff. And I feel like that's very important because people who don't have those foundations of, you know, training down pat, nutrition down pat, it's not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, I think when I started it, that's when I put everything down pack.
Yeah.
When I should have, meaning I already had good foundations. What I'm saying is meal prep.
Yeah.
Packaging my stuff in the fridge. 5 meals a day, measured. Perfect. Not like now I've bring all my food prep in, but I did it this morning. But no, I was like buying fish for the week, buying eggs for the week. Like you just I think the investment, everything needs to be done at the right time.
It's a maturity and discipline factor that comes into it too. Because if you've got the discipline to do the meal prep, to do the training, you've got the discipline to, you know, navigate your way through that realm.
100%.
You're not going to make stupid, drastic decisions.
I agree. I think that's the smartest way to go about it is,
100%.
you know, like if you haven't got everything else right, this ain't going to help.
You're setting yourself up for failure. Exactly right. It's not going to help.
No, it doesn't help. I mean, it helped me. I mean, I've had years, but the thing is, when I saw what was happening, I wanted to go another level, put the gas down, and then that blew me out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I realized, and then when it blew me out, like I said, it just actually made me realize I hadn't done enough. I mean, when I said I hadn't done enough naturally, I've done enough naturally, but I thought, I could do a bit. I could always come back and visit
you
it.
Could always get more.
But I can go again more.
Yeah.
Like my
Absolutely.
complacency, each
100%.
decade of complacency we get.
Correct.
So there you're at the Melbourne Nationals, because I'm going for your posts, and the caption says, "Just me in my element."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I was just enjoying being there.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The Nationals,
Yeah.
Was it kind of like you got a taste of the state show and you think, I can't wait to go and do this again quickly?
Yeah. I remember leading into the state show, I was sort of a bit unsure how I was going to go, if I was going to enjoy it, you know, because it's one thing to train and prep, but to actually get on stage, showcase the hard work that you've done, that's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting in front of a stage full of people isn't for everyone. And when I sort of was going into the show, I was sort of like, oh, you know, is this what I'm going to want to do? I don't know how it's going to go. Am I going to fall over in front of everyone and hate myself? That sort of stuff.
Does the coach teach you that stuff? Does he mentally get you ready for the stage as well? Or not really? That's your job?
Really?
Oh, wow.
Not really. It's that's what I mean. Me being my first time even being in front of a crowd. Like,
when did you surrender?
How do you mean?
For the Sydney show? Like, when did you, with all the nerves, am I going to fall over?
Yeah.
Which was the point when you said, let's just fucking get this done?
Probably when I was pumping up backstage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was a bit quiet backstage. Obviously, with it being my first time, I didn't know anyone there. I was sort of a bit on edge, a bit nerves. And obviously, just got stuck talking to a couple of the boys backstage. We ended up having a laugh backstage, just chatting shit, you know, smacking each other on the ass, just getting revved up. That's when I found comfort in that. I was like, oh, you know, like I'm starting to feel a bit more relaxed. Yeah. And then, just walking out in front of people, you know.
How was that moment?
Hectic. I loved
when they called your number and they said, you know, Ethan, George, and you walk out and the crowd cheers. How did that feel?
Unreal.
Yeah?
I loved it.
That was like a rock star moment?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was actually quite funny. When I was halfway through my routine, I sort of like came to reality.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I'm standing here. I'm in my undies. There's thousands of people in front of me all looking at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is hectic. Like, this is unreal. Like, I love this feeling. And it was that switch. And I was like, I love this.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, as soon as I got off stage, I was like, oh, fuck, it's over already?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to go back out there and do it again.
Yeah.
And then that's what got me excited for Melbourne. I was like, as hard as the next couple of weeks is going to be, that feeling coming back again, I need that feeling.
Did some people say the week between the stage show to the national show, whatever it is, that's pretty tough to stay on the path. But did the motivation of that stage on Sydney say to you, lock you down even harder to come into Melbourne better?
Yeah. Yeah, well, obviously, it was weird, you know, having, you know, going for dinner with the family after the show, you know, having a bit of sushi, had a donut too after the stage show, and I was like, oh, hang on, this is weird. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it is very tempting to sort of fall off, but you know, you've got a couple more weeks, you can do it.
Wow.
So it's, you know, it's just the light at the end of the tunnel. So
I love the explanation. Maybe I was visualizing you on stage. No,
I loved it.
So tell me, like who goes to a pro league for the first time in competition?
Yeah.
And what made you choose that show, I guess? And I was thinking to myself, why? But then I thought, when I was thinking about competing back in 2019, I guess I only knew that show.
Yep.
And a few boys were competing in it.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, it must be that show. I didn't know any other shows really.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. That was probably the same with me.
Yeah.
But I sort of, because I've always had goals of competing. I've always wanted to do it. And it was always like, when am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? And then it just came to that point where I was just like, fuck it. I'm going into prep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just seeing the IFBB as the holy grail. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what everyone's doing. All the big boys are doing the IFBB. And I was like, well, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to be in that mix. So I just bit the bullet and said, fuck it, let's do it. Hadn't dieted before.
Yeah, you wrote here that you learned how to prep and lose weight and get shredded.
Yeah.
What was the biggest eye-opener there? Because I keep wondering, when is it then you realise, like, are you surprised the amount of food you've got to eat to get shredded? Like, do you think sometimes, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Like, you think, am I going to grow muscle on this food?
Yeah.
Like, how small does it get?
It was weird. It was definitely...
That's what I mean.
I went from, in my off-season, eating, 5,000-6,000 calories. I thought that was just normal.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, well, no, you're losing weight now, so therefore you got to eat less.
Yeah.
And grasping that concept of, slowly losing food's like constantly on your way down. It's a tricky one because you're sort of...
And that scale, you just want to drop a little bit more on.
Yeah.
I do. I still do that.
Yeah.
But how do you... Yeah, it's dropping it, isn't it?
It's just the discipline of knowing that, I always reminded myself, I was like, all right, I'm stepping on stage in front of people. What do I want to bring to the stage? Do I want to look fat? You know what I mean? Not that I would, but like... Is this extra 5 grams of food going to get me in the direction of where I want to go? Not really.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep reminding yourself.
That's what I mean. I've got to keep reminding myself because even now I've lost a lot of weight. I want to lose another 5 kilos. But I think, how much more do I have to shave off?
Yeah.
Like just a little bit here, a little bit there. I think, no, I need that extra. I need 200 grams of protein, but maybe I've got to go to 160 grams.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes. But you were, like I said, it was your first time. But was it an eye-opener?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Obviously, like...
How about the food you were eating? What was the surprising of anything, or was it all the same food?
It was all the same food.
Yeah.
Relatively just the same thing, just every week. Well, not every week, but when it was needed, the volume would just reduce. But obviously leading into the show, watching bodybuilding growing up and stuff like that, it was like, I knew it was hard, but when you're in it and you're just like, this is hard.
Yeah.
And
going to bed hungry.
Yeah. A lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
A lot of sleepless nights.
Wondering what the fuck am I doing? I'm starving. I just finished eating and I'm still hungry.
Why am I still hungry?
Why am I still hungry? Why am I licking the plate?
Yeah.
Why am I fucking licking the plate? Why am I
there's
fucking...
not a single grain of rice left.
Yeah, the sauce.
Yeah.
That's protein at the bottom of that bowl.
Yeah.
That yogurt's got protein. I need it.
Yeah, the worst part about it was the hyperfixation of food. When you're in that point in prep and you're so hungry, you find yourself just scrolling through Instagram, TikTok.
Oh, no
and all you're looking at is food. And you're essentially sabotaging yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, you know, there'd be nights where I'd be laying in bed. I'd finish my last meal and I'm like, all right, I got to rush to try and get to sleep as quick as I can before I get hungry. And then you lay down in bed, you're just like, oh, I'll just check Instagram. And because your feed is catered to you looking at food, you're laying in bed. Man, I was watching the most dumbest shit. Looking back at it now, I'm like, why was I looking at that? You know, you're watching people eat food. You're watching people make stuff I would never even think about making. But in that moment, you're like, that's interesting. I want that. So you'll just end up staying up for another hour, just scrolling in bed, making yourself more hungry.
I know. And also what you're doing is you're going, all right, this is what I'm going to eat after I finish the comp.
Dude, you should see.
You must have thought you were going to some Chinese smorgasbord later.
Yeah, you should see the amount of saved videos I have for prep. Just all these recipes of just random foods that in the moment I was like, oh, I'm saving this. I'm going to make this post show. I haven't made a single one.
It's like all these. It's like all these people on TikTok, and they go, "This is the best place to have this hot dog, and this is the best place to have a sandwich." I'm saving.
Yeah.
And then Kiara comes down from Queensland. She goes, "What do you want to do?" I go, "Fuck, I forgot what I had all these places in mind. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Do I go to the best sandwich shop?
Yeah.
Do I go to the best pie shop?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the best. Oh.
Yeah, it got to that point in prep where I literally had a notes file in my phone of just all these places in Melbourne that I wanted to go to. Looking back on it now, I was in Melbourne for 3 days after the show. It would have taken me over a week to get through all these places. But for some weird reason in my head, I was like, all right, I need to get through every single place. And it's like...
What was your first go-to meal after the comp?
And
did
I actually think one of the boys backstage handed me a few Tim Tams. And I was like, that's hectic. Yeah. One of the boys I was competing with, never spoke to him before. He comes up to me, he's like, oh, do you want a Tim Tam? I was like, fucking oath.
We did it for, what was her name? Kathy from Austria.
Okay.
Last year?
Yeah.
Sometime back. She was competing in the A&B show, but the global show. They were a combined show, something global. And she came from Austria and she was getting coached by Peter Hardwick.
Right.
And somehow they connected with us and we had her on the podcast.
Cool.
And I said, what do you want to have after the thing? She goes, oh, I really want to try this Tim Tam.
So
we went, I took a Tim Tam packet. And we sat outside eating Tim Tams.
There you go.
So yeah, she was very happy to eat the Tim Tam.
Yeah, something so simple is just so...
But sometimes I look at the post-show pictures of people, bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And they look filthy.
Yeah.
Like they're so fucking... They're eating... And just fucking dribbling and food stuck here.
Just full...
And fucking chips and that.
Yeah.
I think, fuck, man. And you're posting that?
Yeah.
Like,
you got to look back at
Did you not see the sauce there? Fucking, you know? Like you look fucking like...
You
haven't even taken the spray tan off yet.
Yeah.
Like, I just think everyone should... I guess I haven't been through the hell you guys have been through.
Yeah.
But I think just kind of calm down.
Yeah.
Like, don't chew with your mouth open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't put everything in front of you.
Yeah.
And just know where the sauce is.
The weird thing with me...
Sauce is dripping down, fucking down there, sauce is here.
After the show, the one thing all I wanted to do, I was like, I just want to go and have a shower.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sticky. You smell like fake tan.
Oh,
BO.
Oh,
It's gross. You just want to go and have a shower.
Oh, I know. We won't mention the hectic relationship. You said not to mention it. Can we mention it?
Sure. I don't care.
No, anyway, you have a bit of a breakup during that time. Is that correct?
Yeah. So...
was it a long-time relationship, firstly?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years? Was that a long time?
2-3 years. 2-3 years.
Well, what made it become destroyed inside of prep?
No,
Or was it inevitable?
I think the back end of my prep definitely had a few things to do with it. Obviously, with it being this new level of discomfort, I essentially didn't really know how to handle myself.
Yeah.
And I sort of went into like a hermit crab life. And yeah, it's...
So she wasn't used to her having oysters Kirkpatrick while you bring a Tupperware container with you?
No, she's actually a competitive bodybuilder.
Wow,
too.
what happened, bro? Wow, yeah.
Yeah. It was, it actually happened the day we landed in Melbourne.
I got to the Nationals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it happened in peak week for Melbourne, which obviously...
What is it about peak week with everyone? Even if you hear Emmanuel's story, he's lease said finished at the house he was living. He found a new lease, had to move stuff.
Life.
In the his coach was doing it all. He just turned up to the comp. We'll do everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And even when he finished, there was the tears are after it. Like, it's just so much.
Yeah.
It's an implosion, isn't it, really?
It is.
If anything's going to go wrong, if you haven't got fucking things tied down and sealed and good foundations in place, you're fucked.
Yeah,
if you've got cracks in your life
something's going to go wrong.
and you haven't addressed it for years,
And it's going to happen
that week,
this time.
just before a comp, that week of the comp, that week between all comps, you're done.
Yeah.
You're cooked.
It's going to come at the worst.
So you better make sure when your next comp, you go, right,
100%.
have I spoken to that person that I didn't speak to for years?
Yeah.
Have I told that person to get fucked before I go into this comp? Have I done this? Have I
Just
done
cover
that?
all
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Have I gone and debt collected?
Yeah.
Have I paid that person off? Just get everything done.
Absolutely.
So you go, right, all the things in my
bases are
closet
covered.
are covered, because once that happens, it all
You
comes
don't
out.
want it coming up at that point in time.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
But no, it's one of those things where it sort of teaches you a lot about yourself. You know, knowing that you can push yourself past those sort of limitations and circumstances.
Couldn't go back?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I guess that's what happens.
It
Yeah,
happens,
you don't know. You have to just get to the next. I mean, no, it's sad, but
That's life.
it's also life. It is. I mean, not just me. We've all been through the ringer. I mean, have you been through the ringer, Chris?
Not really.
Not really. No, I thought so. So yeah, you're feeling like when you were at the back of the stage there at the Nationals, you were wondering, what the fuck have I got myself into, right?
Big time.
These boys were like fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's Jackson. But you said he was amazing, and he made, and you felt like a little fish in a big pond, but the camaraderie in Jackson.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was it like, you being in the backstage there going like,
Dude,
what the fuck am I doing?
It was crazy. Like,
Do you forget what you look like because you're looking at everyone's physique?
Yeah,
Look at his back.
that's all I was doing backstage. I was like looking at everyone. I was like, "Fuck! Look at the size of the glutes on that bloke." You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy because it's like, leading into the show, I thought I was somewhat of a decent size. I felt comfortable in who I was, and I was like, "Oh, sweet." And then you get there, and you're like, "Wow, they're big."
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And it was just insane. Seeing just the sheer size and the muscle density on those boys, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and just the whole time I was just looking around going, Jesus, what are you guys eating? You know what I mean? Which was good because it's sort of, you see that and you're like, all right, that's what I need to do. That's where I need to get.
So what did you come in Sydney? Because like I said, you don't have much, you didn't give me much of that.
So I did, pardon me, I did True Novice, and then I did the open class.
And?
So True Novice and Novice, I both took second place, which I was stoked with, very happy with that.
Yep.
And then in the open class, I came 5th.
Yep.
So I got first call out in that, which to me was like crazy because I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
I would never, I had no expectations leading into the show because, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have an idea of where I would be. I don't know. I was just there for the fun of it. And that, I felt like I achieved, something pretty happy that I was happy with in the Sydney show because it was obviously my first time competing. It wasn't really, like I said, with starting with my new coach, we didn't have the opportunity to do like a trial peak or anything like that. We sort of just went, all right, Sydney's our trial peak. We're going to see how this goes. And taking away what we did, stoked.
And then Nationals?
Nationals, I took 3rd in Novice.
Okay.
which was
Is that the one you just went into?
no. So I did True Novice, which I came 4th.
Yep.
Novice, which I came 3rd, and then Open Class, I think I got 7th.
Okay.
I believe.
Well, like I said to you, it's funny at the time when you look when you're watching it at the time and they're posting everything up,
Yeah.
and IFB's posting up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
friends are posting up, and people are posting up, and obviously, it seemed like, everyone's running the mo. You got your mo going.
Yeah,
you're looking like you're looking Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, like I said, it makes sense that Jackson won,
Oh, dude.
100%.
Undeniable.
And when you look back through all the hype, I can, without sounding critical on you, like you looked amazing. But yeah, you've got room to.
Yeah. That's what excited me.
That's what I'm saying is where I thought, wow, like at the time, it's all camouflaged.
Yeah, yeah.
Like who's going to fucking, even yourself, like who's going to fucking take it? They're all big boys.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you, after the dust has settled and you're looking at photos properly,
Yeah, yeah.
like I said, researching you,
Yeah.
I said, yeah, he's got some room to grow in certain areas.
Yeah.
But if he does,
That was my biggest thing, like I never took any negatives from what I did with my first competition because, like you said, it's your first taste of it,
Trust me, there's a big card going on.
It was good, man.
I think it was one of the biggest cards for classic physique in a long time. Everybody who had came in to take it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like easy just for Jackson, but what I'm telling to you is I saw some years.
Yeah.
But I think last year's classic.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it felt like I was outdoing the opens at one stage. The way it was looking.
Yeah.
They have not just in how big they were, just their shape and muscle quality, density,
Absolutely.
muscle belly, like the whole thing, separations. I just looked at it. I went, this is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
So
being.
you didn't enter one that was easy.
No, well, that was
Which
the
you
thing.
did well in.
Yeah, just putting myself in a position, being in, contender with them, and sort of seeing what it's like being in that position. I was like, yeah, this is good. You know what I mean? It was very easy for me to get sort of a bit of self-doubt and be like, oh, I'm not as big as these boys, stuff like that. But at the end of the day,
no, you were a contender.
yeah,
You didn't. Like you looked like one of the big boys.
Yeah.
But like I said to you, the big boys were the big boys. The ones that won.
Yeah.
They won. The right guy won.
yeah,
And right guy got the pro card.
yeah,
And I think his attitude and the way he conducts himself, he could be the Australian C-bum in a way.
he's a real gem of a boy.
He is.
I didn't know
I had him on the
whole-
podcast, and
Yeah.
once I had him talking,
Yeah.
I went, this guy's. I feel like I'm talking to the future C-bum.
Yeah.
You get attracted to
just
him.
the way he carries himself.
Yeah.
Is just
He's raw, open, vulnerability.
yeah.
There's a lot there. We're going to go into viewers' questions. You know, you got some viewers' questions, man.
Did I?
I know. Chris, can I have a pen?
That's exciting.
I know. We don't get many. I think you got the most.
Yeah, no shit.
No joke. Look, I'm telling you, not many people get questions, but I don't know if these people like you, by the way.
Oh.
But let's go with. There's a girl called Jess _
Yeah.
Giselle A Fit.
Yeah.
Gisela Fit.
Yeah.
She actually wrote a few questions, so she's not that many
She's
people.
like a big sister to me.
Is she?
Love
Okay.
it. Love her to death.
Well, she said, "What's the biggest lesson you learn about yourself through a prep?"
Just knowing that I can do it. You know what I mean? Knowing that you can be in a position of, self-doubt, hardship, and stuff like that. Just being able to do it. And knowing that you have the capabilities to do it. I never expected myself to be able to push past those limits on myself, and just having, the ability to do the job.
So I write, because I'm going to answer these questions to do it. So I just write here, knowing you can do it, be in a position of self-doubt and hard, and to be able to get through and do it.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing I took from it.
Get through and achieve the goal. Yeah. We'll come back to Sarah's one. Keep that in. Jess. Sarah Hillard.
Mm-hmm.
How to pick the right coach. How to know a coach is right for you.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
because you never really know until
You never.
obviously with like you can see what they're posting with their clients and their sort of accolades of what they've achieved with other clients. That's obviously going to be your biggest drive of where you sort of want to go. But, you know, it's more or less just following the vibe of what you feel like is right for you. You know, if you've got a coach that will care for you and look after you, that's obviously going to be the driving factor, you know, because you don't want to just be another client. You want to be someone that they care for, because if you're putting yourself in a position of being in a prep scenario, you need to have that connection with them and have that trust in someone that they're going to look after you and do it correctly.
I feel like I'm running your script.
Yeah, it's a lot to write down.
I just write, you never really know until you choose them. But research, accolades, and relationship that seems and feels like you're cared for and supported.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. All right, Jess, we're back to Jess again.
Back to Jess.
How social media positively and negatively affects the fitness bodybuilding world?
Social media is a tricky one.
Yeah?
Because it's a very useful tool that can be used to grow your presence among other people. And it's one of those things where you got to take the good with the bad. You know, social media can at times be a very negative thing. I feel, you know, it's an easy platform to people to spread hate. It's easy for people to criticize you from the comfort of just texting on a phone. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so we've got tricky firstly, useful to grow
just your social media presence, your popularity, I guess you could say. And obviously to connect with other people. It's a very useful tool in that. But yeah, it's very easy for people to use it in a negative way, which is the downside of it, unfortunately. But that's, I guess, like with everything really, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think also creates self-doubt?
Yeah.
I think so, negatively.
Absolutely. Leading into prep, that was my biggest thing. I had to mute a lot of other people I was competing against just because I'd find myself researching people I was competing against and comparing myself to them, and then essentially filling myself with self-doubt because I look at them and I go, oh, I'm not near them. I don't, you know, they're way bigger than me. Why am I competing? You know, I don't deserve to be in this position. They're going to win. Not that winning was a priority of mine, but it was like you sort of lose track of your own progression.
Yeah. Self-doubt especially. Yeah. I'll fix this up myself. Don't read my writing, man.
I can't even read my handwriting.
It's not even reading it. It's how fucking I spell words. Like competitors due to comparison. No, I already block out competitors due to comparison. Watching, you know, during prep. That's a good answer. You know, Jess again. Gisela Fit. Our favorite and least favorite thing about bodybuilding prep.
Bodybuilding prep. Obviously, the least favorite thing would definitely be just the fatigue. You know, I consider myself to be a very social and I guess you could say flamboyant attitude. You know, like I'm always casual. I love, you know, positivity, just talking. And I feel like the back end of prep, I lost that from myself. I sort of became this tired, miserable person. Because obviously that's what comes with being in that position in prep. Like you sort of don't just you purely just don't have the energy to be who you are realistically. So that's obviously what I didn't enjoy about that part, because, you know, I felt like I sort of lost touch with myself and who I am as a social person.
What about favorite?
Just, I guess, the process. You know what I mean? Just being in this regimented lifestyle of just every day ticking boxes, doing what needs to be done, and it's satisfying knowing that you're just ticking boxes daily and you're progressing in the right direction of what you want to achieve. And it's healthy too, because it's like you know, you're so fixated on doing what's good for you and what's going to get you towards your goals. So you're constantly chipping away, doing your steps, doing your cardio, training, meal prepping. You just become robotic, which is what I love about it. And to me, that outweighs the negatives. Absolutely. As hard as the negatives may be, that feeling of satisfaction of being in that position where you're like, wow, I'm doing it. That's what, you know, sparks a little twitch in my brain, which is fun.
Lex. He's got a big question here.
Big question.
Yeah, he's that. What is your favourite biscuit? Apparently he loves Bickies. You like Bickies?
I love Bickies.
You like Bickies?
Big tea biscuit guy.
Are you?
Love tea biscuits.
Like tea biscuits. That's what they're called?
Yeah.
Are they the
all
ones?
biscuits, you know, like you.
But you like
tea biscuits.
Tea biscuits. So you like your nice biscuits.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Dip it just in tea, just about to break.
Yeah.
In coffee, and you go
Yeah.
fucking get it in your,
Yeah.
and when it breaks, you're fucked off.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to get it with the spoon in
Yeah.
your fucking coffee, and you go, oh,
Mint slices too.
mint slice.
Yeah, mint slice.
Yeah, mint slices. You know that is very 80s, mate.
Yeah.
Mint slice is 80s. Mate.
I love mint slice.
Mint slice. It's 80s, especially when you. All right, tea biscuits.
Yeah. Get me
Nice.
around a packet of assorted tea biscuits.
Wow, the assorted pack.
Yeah, the big family.
Fucking the carousel. What is I forgot. There's fucking so many.
There's too many.
Oh my god, the Vovos in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll find Vovos
Yeah.
and the little fucking imitation they never made at Tim Tam ones where they got the cream in the middle and you're always trying to break it open
Yeah,
to fucking.
yeah. Just any biscuit, Tim Tams, mint slice.
Mate, you're ready for retirement home.
Oh mate, so
I'd
I'd eat tea biscuits all day.
They'll try to put him in a retirement home and he'll go, oh fuck, I'm not going there. They go, but they got biscuits. I'm going.
Take me now.
You got biscuits every day. Every day you got biscuits.
Take me now.
Take me now. All right, we've answered the questions. Thank you everyone for the question. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Born in the Shire.
Yep.
Then went to the Gong.
Yep.
How was the Gong?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I've been there for about 20 years now.
It's changed a lot, hasn't it now?
Has.
And coming
Absolutely.
to Sydney's really quick.
Yeah.
Like it's super quick. It's like
yeah.
nothing.
It's about 45, 50-minute drive from Shire.
But it's a lot of developments happening down there, hasn't it?
Dude, in the last 10 years, it's ridiculous. It's
It's a really nice place. I mean, it's. When I say it's taken its time,
it has.
it has, but
Yeah.
but it does have some good cafes down there. It has
Yeah.
some good stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Like Wollongong's good. Not many people know about Wollongong.
No, still they
It's-
don't.
it's,
Still today.
It's the progression from Wollongong in the last 10 years, it's insane. You know, like
Wollongong seemed far once upon a time, but it's not far.
you can't walk down the main street of Wollongong now with just apartment buildings, unit blocks. Just it's all happening.
I've liked to like.
Beaches are unreal, don't they?
Yeah, most people. Yeah, no, it is. I rate the Gong over Gosford in a way.
Yeah. Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Because the Gong is right on the coastline.
Mm.
And the great thing about the Gong is as well, when you're coming into the Gong, you know you're into the Gong because you're going down that fucking road.
Yeah.
And then you see all that water. And it's
Yeah.
just got a beautiful view.
It
You've got
is.
to watch out for the speed camera going
Yeah.
down. But Chris, and I think there's a lot of Macedonians in the Gong. The Macedonians love the Gong.
Yeah, the Gong's good.
Why do they like the Gong?
I don't know.
It's got a very
So many Macedonians down there. So there's a lot of
a lot of ethnics and stuff.
Barek there, mate. There'd be a lot of Barek bakeries there.
There's
Is there?
one in
There's one?
Cringilla.
Yeah.
It's I can't remember the name of it.
So you like your Barek?
I've had it a few times.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's not a food that I'd eat often.
It's not a staple food for your diet, eh?
Nah.
Not for prep season.
No, I don't think I could wriggle a bit of burek into my food.
You guys love meat, don't you? You guys are big on meat,
Yeah.
and sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because someone was showing off a sandwich. They go, "This is from Macedonia," and I looked at it. I said, "It's 2 buns with sausages in it." Like, what's a fucking big deal?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
That's all we eat meat.
Yeah, you guys are big meat eaters.
Yeah.
There's a guy. Did you see the guy that I sent you that does all the Macedonian food?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like I mean, like I said, at the moment, Macedonian food seems to be the big talk of the
Okay.
town at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I see it anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
my analytics on my phone. Maybe I should be looking at so many food.
It'll happen to you.
We'll talk about girls in bikinis. No, we don't. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I remember once, no joke, because I'll just bring it up. It's funny. I had this one girl I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked her. She was a bit of a maniac.
Okay.
But, and I'm a trustworthy guy.
Yeah.
But she was so insecure that she would check my social media. She knew where to find it.
Okay.
And the amount of fucking titty posts I had liked, I didn't even know I liked that many. I never knew I liked that many G-string posts. I never knew I liked that many bikini posts.
Yeah.
And most of them were bodybuilders or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
But the fucking, and I just thought, you know, when you first get onto Instagram, you think if you like everyone's post, that's the trick.
It's just what you do.
Sometimes you're not even looking.
Yeah.
Just going, like.
Yeah,
That's when you first join, yeah?
Yeah.
So, titties like, motorcycles like,
Yeah.
like, titties again like, titties like,
Yeah.
titties. And you don't know.
Yeah.
Mate, when she gave me my analytics.
Yeah.
I felt like Chris, she got into my my analytics and she sent me a graph.
Yeah.
She goes, who's this person? I go, who's this person?
You don't even know.
You liked her post.
You don't even know.
I didn't know who she is.
Yeah.
I said to her, I can't even remember me liking that. I think I was flicking through and I just kept liking.
Yeah.
Got me into many breakups.
Hot water. Yeah.
Hot water all the time. I was like, she goes, you made a comment. Yeah, I said she looks really good in this dress or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was personal.
Nah.
I thought it was just...
You're just being nice.
Just being... Whatever it was. It was just hilarious. And I realised, you're not supposed to like everything. She came in, she goes, girls in floral dresses, 2 likes. Girls in bikinis, 1,500,000 likes. What's going on here? Doesn't match up.
Where's the correlation?
You don't like them dressed?
Yeah.
I said, I did not know.
Yeah. It's good fun.
Maybe I've exaggerated. Place talking. Oh my God, the amount of times she broke up with me.
It's dangerous.
She kept breaking up with me by the likes.
Yeah.
I go, look, we're back together. We're back together. A week later, let me just check your TikTok. Did you know your TikTok? I don't know that. It was so funny because I guess I started getting into social media back in the late teens.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Like I thought you liked everything.
Yeah.
But I did not know you had people that checked your analytics.
People watching you.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
It was very bad.
Yeah, it happens.
You know when you take a post and you think you're doing something cute, like I'm feeding this pigeon, and there's this blonde girl with me. We're feeding this pigeon, and then who's this blonde girl feeding the pigeon? I don't know. She was at the park, and I thought we'd feed the pigeons. It's hilarious. Social media can get you in trouble.
It can.
Born in the Shire. Gong's a good place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaps of Macedonians there. You were a smart kid.
Yeah.
Well, and but you didn't really apply yourself. You were a bit of a social guy. You like talking in class, chatting too much in the class. Is that true?
Yeah. That was always the...
Was that your downfall?
Yeah. Yeah. Every report card I got was just talks too much.
Talks too much.
Talks too much. I feel like I had the brains to do well in school.
Yeah.
It's just the application of it wasn't there.
I think I could have done good at school too. I don't think it catered to my style. No. I think I'm a bit of a daydreamer.
Yeah.
And if it was a little bit more daydreamy,
yeah,
it was not so disciplined.
Yeah, I feel
give it a little bit of a break. Give me a break. Let me come in 2 minutes later.
Yeah, of course.
Not so intense and not make me feel stupid.
I feel like school is not catered for everyone.
No.
I feel like it's very that way or the highway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I feel like they should have a bit of flexibility in how they educate certain people.
Yeah, I don't think they should have. I know they have like these hippie schools and they've got this school and that school, but I think they should just have. Yeah, I just think there's. We apply things differently.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
100%.
And it's funny when we talk about like what just came to my mind. We watch all these videos and people say, "Oh man, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I got 5 o'clock in the morning."
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. When I was kicking my biggest goals in business, and making the most money and buying property and doing whatever I was doing, I think I didn't want to get out of bed.
No,
because there wasn't social media, and I didn't know that stuff.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting is I never felt like when I slept in on a Sunday I was a loser.
Yeah,
I never felt like
you're missing out.
I never felt like I missed because I'll get up and go for it. So in other words,
it's on your terms.
yeah, but I never felt like I didn't get up at 5, so that's why I'm not successful. But now you kind of like judge yourself all the time.
Yeah, you feel like you're sort of missing the ball.
Oh my God,
you're like, they're doing that. So
they're getting up at 5
got to
o'clock.
do that.
I mean, that means no wonder I get up at 6. But
Yeah,
like no, I mean, I don't think. Like I said, I don't think anybody. I mean, everyone just does what they do.
yeah,
But I don't think the success model is what everyone's making it out to be. And the ones that are telling us to do it, they're not successful.
No.
Really, they're not.
No.
They're just using a protocol to sort of say, I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they're successful.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, when I said to Chris, before social media, we didn't know it wasn't like, I'm not saying I didn't get up at 6 or didn't get up at 7 or didn't get up at 8.
Yeah.
But I never got up because I thought I was going to take on. I never got up knowing this is my first kick. This is my tick of the box.
Yeah.
It was more like I'm up. Granola.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, egg, whatever. Eat it. Fucking get a protein shake in the car.
Yeah.
And driving to work and not thinking I've scored goals. I've eaten a beautiful granola and I had a protein shake.
It's what people like.
Never.
Yeah.
Didn't even think. Just thought deals.
Yeah.
Didn't even like. Nothing.
A lot of people try and overdo it with Instagram. They try and show that everyone that I'm winning. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this and I'm successful.
I'm up at 5, and I went and did like, mate.
Does anyone really care though?
No, that's what I mean. I didn't even know what. To be honest, do you know half the things I've read? I've read a few books. Reading. What am I reading at the moment, Chris?
The Subtle Art.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Right?
Oh, I've heard of that book before.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
Yeah.
And it's funny. There was one bit that I was doing. You know, when you stand in front of the mirror and you go, I'm rich.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Yeah.
I'm this. The book said while you're doing that, the only reason you're saying it is because you're not. And I realized that's
you're
true.
trying to tell yourself that you are.
But you're not.
Yeah.
You're actually on a foghorn saying the reason you're saying I'm rich is because you're not. Because if you were rich, you wouldn't be saying it in the mirror.
Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly
or if you go, I'm a great lover. I'm a perfect person for a relation.
Yeah.
I'm a great lover and everyone loves me and she loves me. And then you realize I got nobody in my life.
Yeah.
And the book says when you're shouting that out, you're shouting out what you don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just thought,
that makes sense.
So I said, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
So I stopped.
No.
So like I said to you, and then I thought, no, I'm just going to. So, I mean, do you have rituals and habits in the morning?
No.
No. That's right. Don't do
Get up, have breakfast and go to work.
Yeah. There you go. We're going to post that 10 times. It's going to be the new trend.
Just get up, have a breakfast, go to work.
All right. And we're going to make sure we drown the internet with that.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, in 2 years' time, you're going to say, the way to win in life is to get up, have some breakfast,
and go to work.
And we change the trend.
Leave your Instagram shit at home.
It is that. It's just funny, you know. All these, I find the rituals and habits put more pressure.
100%.
But I've got a few that I do.
Yeah.
But it is unnecessary. I didn't think how much it made me feel like a loser when I didn't do them, or the day's not going to be right.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way. I don't know what it is. I think the most important is to keep your word.
Yeah.
To deliver on your word, and also face your word even when you're not going to do it and when you fail at it.
Correct.
Doesn't matter. Just the word is all that matters.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Actions speak louder than words.
Be there. You're not going to be there. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
You don't even need to give the best excuse. And even if you give the best excuse, give the truth. I don't want to come.
Yeah, 100%. That's it.
People appreciate that better than fucking
Pussy
got a flat tire. Oh my God. You feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
So just the truth.
Yeah.
I think that's the best motivation. That's what I think anyway.
I agree.
You wanted to be an architect. You wanted to build buildings and bridges. Well, you got close. You're a chippy.
Yeah.
How's the chippy life?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's fun. I enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah? Were you good at woodwork at school?
Yeah.
My son Yanni wanted to become a chippy and then now wants to become an electrician. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was good at woodwork too.
Yeah. That was always my passion growing up. Just being more hands-on, you know, with the trade, you know, working hard, stuff like that. That's how I've always sort of grown up.
Your dad was a plumber?
Yeah. My old man's a plumber. He got me working with him on weekends growing up, going through school. So that sort of gave me the taste for that sort of lifestyle. and it was good. You know, I liked it, and it's yeah, obviously wanted to do architecture stuff and being an engineer. You got to apply yourself to that in school. Yeah. So you got to have, you know, the application there at school for academics and stuff, and that's where my social butterfly took that away.
Well, your report card said it all.
Exactly.
This guy should just you know, run a game show.
Yeah.
Did your dad have the staffy or the dog? Did he take the dog to work at all? You tradies? No tradie. Once upon a time, you know, tradies all had dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
my dog doesn't get off the lounge.
Oh, so what kind of dog you got?
He's a bull mastiff.
Oh, right. He'd be good. Yeah, he's a tradies kind of dog.
Yeah. He's just lazy.
Lazy. Doesn't know about getting up, having breakfast, go to work. That dog.
Yeah, I need to drill it into him.
We need to drill it in. So mum, dad, brother, right?
Yeah.
What's your brother do?
Plumber. Yeah, we're all tradies.
Younger brother, yeah? Or tradies?
Yeah, younger brother. Yeah.
You live at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Utilize it.
Yeah.
You know how important it is.
The cost of living these days, mate.
But the thing is, if you should utilize that time. Yeah. That's your investment time.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, I was smart. I lived at home and I put my money in. I didn't blow my money. I put it invested into things while I was at home. That's your time. If you don't, you won't do it anywhere else.
100%.
So when you're home. So, look, a little bit of a hiccup. I don't know if you want to talk about it. You did mention something about, you know, family and your mum.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be a good motivational story. I don't know. But there was a few hiccups there with some kind of, I don't know. I mean, we can edit this out later if you wanted to, but anyway, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But is she okay?
Yeah.
Now,
she's doing great.
She's doing great.
Yeah.
She had a little bit of an addiction.
Yeah.
It
was 2019. It was a very big year for me. A lot of challenges.
Was it?
Which was what sort of shaped me to be who I am today, I guess.
Yeah, we need to know that.
Obviously, with playing good footy and stuff like that, got selected for a representative team.
Mm.
Obviously, had injuries with that, which stopped me from playing. So I didn't play that whole year because I was sidelined with that.
What position did you play? I want to go into the
I was in front row. In the middle.
Wow.
Front row. 90 kilo, 18-year-old front rower.
Wow.
Playing against.
Who'd you play for?
I played for Thurl.
Yeah.
Thurl down in the Gong, and then got a run with the Dragons Jersey Flag team.
Wow.
Which was exciting, which was really cool. But obviously, with injuries and stuff like that, couldn't, you know, even play footy. So that obviously happened, and then.
Who do you follow in the league?
Sharks.
Your Sharkies?
Sharkies. Die hard.
No, they're good. They got one.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to go for a second one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna have to take a team that. I want doggies.
Yeah, okay.
I love rugby.
Doggies are good.
Doggies are good this year.
I appreciate the Bulldogs.
Look, I know a lot of people talk about them, but I tell you what it is. One thing I'll tell you about the Dogs.
Yeah.
Not many people like sometimes the Dogs.
Yeah.
But the Dogs like themselves.
They do.
And the Dogs,
they've got a very strong fan base.
Strong fan base, family base.
Yeah.
And we could be at the bottom of the table. We won't put ourselves down.
No.
With the Dragons, you can be first and they still put their own down. The Dragons are the worst on themselves, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's the Roosters and Cronulla. And, you know, there was actually a moment when, you know, when you go through an age where you think, I might change my rugby league team.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Cronulla because I liked the colours.
Yeah.
It was close enough to the Bulldogs colours.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, Cronulla, you guys made that Shire and Cronulla.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a good scene.
It is. I mean, the home ground is amazing and that whole area there.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in St. Susie's. I'm just around the corner.
Yeah.
I drive around all the time.
Cool.
Again, speed cameras there. Got to be careful of that speed camera.
You have to.
But, okay, so Cronulla, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was, I think you had a social media post of you at a game, I think it was maybe Cronulla with the Roosters, and I wasn't sure if you're a Rooster supporter.
Sharkies.
Oh, fuck that Roosters.
Sharkies.
I know, Sharkies, huh? Yeah, that's good. I remember, it was amazing side, because what I remember with Rogers, E.T.
Yeah.
What a side that was.
Yeah.
It's amazing that side never won a grand final.
No.
Because it had a lot of representatives and top players.
Yeah.
Kamali.
Brett Kamali. Yeah.
Brett Kamali. I saw Brett Kamali a few weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah. And he came to the Dogs for a little while.
Yeah.
Brett Kamali.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Because and you know why we got Brett Kamali over? Because we needed someone to settle down the boys. So that's what the Dogs do. When the Dogs are family, we need to hone in. We need to bring We need to be leaders in.
Yeah,
that's what we do. If we have rat bags in our side, we're shit.
No good.
When we don't do rat bags in the Bulldogs, we come last if we're rat bags.
Yeah,
but when we're family side,
that's when it plays good footy.
Yeah, that's when we play really good footy. Is that how the Dragons are too? I'm sorry, the Sharks are.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Sharks have always been like one of those teams that's, you know, obviously they've had a bad rap in the past with a few different scandals and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, I've always stood by the Sharks. I've always loved them. My old man sort of didn't really let me support anyone else.
No. It's got to be the family side. My kids can't support anyone else either.
No.
My daughter liked Tigers, and she goes, "I might go for the Tigers." I go, "What the
Go
fuck?"
Bulldogs.
Thankfully, we're a doggy family.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're doggy family. No, we have to be. Oh, my cousin played for him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know who he is, but he's actually a doctor.
Okay.
He's called he's Dr. Paponis,
right?
George Paponis.
Okay.
And he captained Australia.
No shit.
He captained the Dogs.
There you go.
Captain State of Origin.
Yeah.
First non-born Australian because he came here when he was 2 years old.
Okay.
Born in Greece.
Yep.
Captain Australia.
No shit.
Fittler talks about him, how, you know, what kind of a player he was. He was a hooker.
Okay.
Won a grand final.
Nice.
Played with Mortimers.
Yeah. Okay.
The Hugheses.
Yeah.
I used to go to the. It was my mum's cousin.
Yeah.
So he was George, my second cousin. Okay. So we used to go to the barbecues, and there was a whole.
The whole team.
The whole team was there because they loved the meat. We cooked meat.
Mad.
Even the coaches, Ted Glossop back then was the coach.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, no, I was just 10 years old, and it was all these rugby league players. But he was actually chairman of the NRL at one stage.
No shit.
Yeah, he's they've got him up in Hall of Fame at the Doggies now and all that stuff. Yeah.
Sick.
I mean, it's fucking love the Dogs. We had Dogs family. My parents were Dogs, and so it's funny because their grandchildren.
Yep.
Not my kids, but my sister's kids. They were Roosters, so they used to have it out.
Yeah.
Used to have fights over the phone.
Yeah.
And then we got a bit of infiltration from the Dragons.
Yep.
But they were just fucking whingers. We just sat there listening to them whinge.
They always complain.
I fucking complain. I got to go. You go over and they start bagging the dogs. Like, here we go. But okay, give them 2 more minutes. Bagging themselves. They'll bag themselves. Just gonna have to wait 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and then they just start bagging themselves. So yeah, let's go back to your mum. How is she? And
She's
what
good.
shaped you? What shaped you, man?
Just life sort of played its hand on me a bit that year. Obviously, with having this expectations of finally playing representative footy, getting all excited, going, yeah, this is my big break, you know what I mean? And then obviously injuries happened. Then, obviously with injuries, you can't work. So I lost my job. Then obviously with that, you have nothing to do with your time, sort of spiraling a little bit out of control. And then obviously the whole situation with what happened with my mother having like a relapse with a drug addiction, that was a bit of a curveball in life, but it happens. And
what was it? If you remember me ask, what is the drug addiction? What was it? You don't have to mention if you don't want it.
It was ice.
Oh, poor little thing.
Yeah. So it was definitely it was a big eye opener, going through all that. But I would never hold that against anyone. And
look, it's parenting, man. Parents, you don't know it yet. We're still immature.
Yeah.
Even at my age,
everyone's learning things in life, man.
Any temptation, anything, struggles.
Yeah.
We don't think we're good enough.
No.
There's a lot of things in it. Like, I don't judge anyone as long as you get to the other side.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like seeing mum get through all that makes me so proud.
Yeah,
it's such a good thing. It's such a good thing to see. Knowing that people get themselves in a position where it seems like it's a hard situation to get out of, but anyone can do it.
Let me tell you, a situation doesn't make the person.
No, fuck no.
It's the person coming back to who they were after
Exactly
the situation.
Right. Exactly.
So
right.
whoever that person was at that time, at that moment, is not that person. It's not really them.
No.
Who they are.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate they stumbled in, but but the resilience is the person that gets them out of it.
Yeah.
That's the real person that gets them out. And then, like, you could be a year, 2, 5, 6, 10 years after the fact. You were never that person in that moment.
No, fuck no.
Like me too. I've had some dark times where I think my kids in their teens saw me at my weakest.
Yeah.
And even when I knew they were seeing me at my weakest, there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they choose to judge me on my weakness,
Yeah.
then fuck off.
Yeah. It's
Because that's not me, man.
It's not them.
You fucking, that's just, you're just lucky I got through that point.
Yeah, 100%.
But once I'm out,
Yeah.
we're back, aren't we? We're all back.
Yeah.
We're back. We're good.
Yeah, it's
That's all that
it's
matters.
very easy for
You can sit there and
people in
try to
that
judge people
situation,
back then, but you're judging the wrong person.
100%.
And we're not interested in that guy either or that girl.
No,
But if you want to hang, we hang now.
that's exactly right.
So, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's good.
So obviously that whole year sort of put a lot of stress on my mental health and stuff like that. So I was in a bit of a weird position.
And your dad and mum are together?
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
Like even your dad
absolutely.
must have been flittering with that.
Yeah.
poor thing.
Yeah. So proud of both of them.
Yeah, fucking hell.
getting
I'm proud
through all
of them
that
too.
too.
Yeah.
So then obviously that's essentially what got me into the gym. You know, not being able to play footy, you know, being in a bit of a weird headspace. I needed something to distract myself. And then that's when, you know, I started going to the gym more often because that's realistically all I could do at the time, not being able to play footy. And then, you know, once you're doing that, you're like, fuck, you know, this is actually pretty fun. You know what I mean? So it went from me training, you know, a couple of days a week to wanting to go to the gym every day. You know, that made me want to start, you know, taking protein powders, all that sort of stuff. You know, I was just so in on this fascination of bodybuilding, you know, watching C-Bum, Callum Von Moger, all that sort of stuff. It was just so, like, I just wanted more of it and I just loved it. And it was just so rewarding seeing myself just get into that sort of scheme of things. And, like, I love football. Like, footy, rugby league is always going to be one of my second favorite sports. But I would never see myself going back and playing it just because I'm just so invested in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
How did your family feel about your bodybuilding?
yeah. I mean, them seeing me in prep was probably a bit of a weird one because they're learning the sport as I'm going through it. You know what I mean?
Does some of it rub off on them? Like, well, my family...
Not really.
My family started eating well. My dad got over it. He just said, fuck, can we stop having everything grilled?
Yeah.
This is why we catering to this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My parents just love, you know, supporting me, I guess.
Yeah.
It's good.
What about your brother? Does he train?
He plays footy.
Is he good?
Yeah, he has a crack.
Is it great?
He's a crack. He just loves the game for what it is. You know what I mean?
What does he play?
He plays front row as well. Front row for
How old is he?
22.
You going to make it to the Sharks?
I hope so.
Yeah?
My old man probably hopes so more.
Is he good to make it to the Sharks, you reckon?
I reckon if he applied himself, he could have a decent crack at it.
Wow.
But he just loves, you know, playing footy with his mates, going to the pub, just doing it for the love of the sport.
It's a shy thing, man. It's another world, that shy side.
Yeah.
Once you cross over Tom Haggerty's Bridge
and
Captain Cook's Bridge, mate,
it's the shy.
you better start flying the Australian flag and just fucking trim yourself up a little bit and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All right? Because we're in a new town.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, it is. It's like you've left.
Yeah.
Gone to Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've gone to the true heart of Australia. All right? Where's Edge Rock? We are in Australia, mate.
It's good.
Like, it's not even fucking Penrith.
Nah.
Fucking nothing compares to the Shire, mate.
Shire's good.
Shire's utes, flannels, mows.
Mows are cranking.
Fucking
mullets. Yeah.
Fucking go fuck yourself, mate.
Yeah,
you know,
I love it.
everyone's unemployed.
Yeah, it's good. I love it.
You know, there's nothing like the Shire, mate. The Shire is, when I grew up, we used to go to the Shire all the time. We used to go to Gunnamatta Bay. You know Gunnamatta Bay?
I've heard of it.
Well, you know where Cronulla Beach is?
Yep.
Cronulla?
Yep.
Behind it, there's a little bay. Like they've got a park there and there's...
yeah, righto.
Yeah, we used to... Because Greeks, they don't like sand.
No.
We like grass.
Okay.
So as much... We want to find the best place that has the grass closest to the ocean.
Gotcha.
So Gunnamatta Bay, we had grass, a lot of grass. And we could do barbecues and
sick.
cook shish kebab all day.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Sick.
So your mum's well, yeah?
Yeah, mum's great. She's doing well.
Yeah.
Love her to death.
Yeah, well...
She's one of my biggest fans.
No, I'm happy to hear that. I mean, I know you, like, I felt funny about mentioning it, but look, sometimes you could be helping somebody else with this conversation.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be. I can't see any harm. And like I said to you, for me, I don't judge anyone what they went through. I judge where they are today. And that's who they really are at the end of the day.
100%.
Sometimes the things, the challenges we face isn't really...
Life happens.
Like I said, there was another stoic guy who recites a bit of Aristotle and NASA stuff, said people think they've achieved stuff in life, right? Like you think you've achieved something, like I've had a 9-to-5 job, paid off my bills, and I've lived my life.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, you haven't.
No.
You've lived a life, but you haven't lived your life. Meaning there's an element of living your life. And I think that is, in a sense, it's not possible for many, I get it, but have you taken the biggest risk in your life financially, relationship-wise, sports-wise, travel-wise?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I don't want to skydive. I've got no interest in skydiving. But what I'm trying to say to you is, but maybe I'm interested in, testing my business capabilities or going traveling or actually having that relationship or getting on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Taking up something that not many people take on.
Actually living life.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a difference between living life and just existing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Many people say, living like they think they've lived their life and they can, but they haven't lived a life. It's just living it. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
2020 discovered bodybuilding, because of Generation Iron. I never watched that. What is Generation Iron? I mean, I know it's probably very popular for you guys.
I didn't really know what it was. I was just scrolling through Netflix one day and I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, what was it about?
Just about like a group of bodybuilders, like I guess you could say like popular bodybuilders at the time. So there was like Callum Vermoga, I think Seabum got a little bit of a run in there. There was a few other bodybuilders. I can't remember it. But it was just sort of like a documentary on a group of like a selected few bodybuilders, sort of what they do, how they go about it. And I watched it. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, Callum's a very popular figure for all the Aussie boys here.
Yeah. He was, back in his time, he was, I seen him as a relatable character. He's when he was in his time, I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, he had a dark moment, but then he's back. But back then, I think he just seemed invincible, didn't he? Really?
Yeah, he was unreal back then.
But he had his dog.
Yeah.
He even had a bird, didn't he?
A lizard.
A lizard?
Yeah.
But then he was living. Didn't he have a hawk kind of bird or something? I don't know.
Yeah, like a parrot.
Parrot or something.
Yeah.
A little parrot for a while.
Yeah.
One of his hairstyles I did try to mimic.
Yeah. Okay.
When he had the mohawk.
Yeah. That's what I mean. His character was.
I saw that one. I didn't know who it was, but when I saw the haircut, so I did that haircut. Like I got the sides shaved.
Yeah.
And it kind of symbolised that.
Yeah.
He had some style. Like he's pretty good. He does all right. He does all right. Actually, Ed Connors believed he would have been a great wrestler.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
In America, two things. You either become a wrestler or a bodybuilder.
Yeah, righto.
If you're taking up a physical career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You played football growing up? Yep. Just going through all the stuff I've written.
Yeah.
Your injury is what got you into bodybuilding, which we already spoke about.
Yep.
Okay, so where to now? What are we going to witness with Ethan George?
That's a good question. Some days I don't even know.
Is that your surname, really, George?
Yeah. I've got 4 first names.
What?
4 first names.
What do you mean 4? Go ahead.
Ethan, Thomas, William, George.
Oh.
Check my license.
Okay, Ethan George. My surname's Georges, you know that.
Yeah, okay.
Georges, right? But
but
it's not George with an S. No one ever will spell it.
Is that like a Greek thing?
Well, it's a Greek surname, Georges, but it's spelled Giourgis. Like, you think Georges, that's how it's spelled, Georges.
Right.
But it never at school, they go, Steve Georges, they go, Georges. I go, no, it's not that. It's spelled like
This
this.
is how you spell it, yeah.
But,
Interesting.
yeah, no, I mean, sounds like a first name, your last name, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where are we off to? What are we doing? Like, what's the trajectory, both career-wise,
Yeah.
bodybuilding-wise,
career.
relationship-wise?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Any spoilers?
We don't know.
We don't know. Are we single?
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially.
Essentially.
All right, someone's on the side.
No.
Don't look at his likes.
No, I'm single.
Don't go get the analytics on his likes.
I'm single. We'll
Single.
cut that one out.
Single.
Single, yeah. Business is, just doing carpentry. as well as the online coaching stuff.
Yep.
Loving it, staying busy.
What's your favourite build on a carpentry? What do you like?
New housing,
Yeah.
just like residential houses. It's always good fun.
Yeah.
It's nice, get to sort of make someone's dream a reality, really. It's the beauty of carpentry. Makes it all become one visual thing.
How is the building world going out there? Is it run by the mob?
Oh, it's an interesting space.
It seems like the mob's got involved in building and cigarettes.
Yeah. It's
And you see how many tobacco shops have opened up?
Yeah.
Everywhere. And you know why?
yeah.
Because it's cheap tobacco everywhere to go.
Yeah.
And the carpet and not carpentry, the building world.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's a pretty hectic space.
It's a
to be
scary
in.
space,
It
mate.
is. It is. But I love it. It's good. It's hard. It's
Well, anyway, if you build around the Shire, it's looked after, mate. You're
yeah.
protected.
Yeah. It's
Texas. With guns loaded that way. No one rocks in. Doesn't matter who you are. All right. If you don't come in with a mullet and a mow and a ute,
You're done.
and if it's not blowing smoke out the back of the fucking car, it's not loud. Fuck that fast four stuff.
Four-wheel drive, mate. Hilux.
Hilux, yeah.
Yeah.
Big wheels.
Yeah.
Park. Take up 5 spots.
Yeah, building's going good. Loving that. As for bodybuilding,
Housing's on top of the utes. They've got their own tents now on top.
yeah, rooftop tents.
Rooftop tents. Yeah.
All that's going on.
Yeah. Go on. So
Bodybuilding is just good. Yeah, we're looking to probably start prepping in a couple of weeks.
for which comp?
Season C,
Wow.
OFBB.
Yeah.
Yep. Got that in planned. Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Very much excited for that. We've had a pretty good off season.
Yeah.
Put a lot of effort into growing up the weak
Yeah.
points.
You've grown a lot, man.
Yeah, we've done well. So I'm just excited to sort of see what it looks like once we've pulled a few layers back, see what the hard work we've done. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good to sort of get back into that regimented lifestyle. Just enjoy doing the hard shit.
Yeah. Wow. No, it seems like it's going to be a good year.
Yeah,
It seems like season C is going to be busy with everyone.
yeah,
I think anybody that feels like they couldn't get ready for A
yeah.
is going to go for C.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. I think it will be a big one this year.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go over the body. What is your prominent body part, you reckon? What's your
My
prominent-
shoulders.
Shoulders?
Shoulders.
Yeah, big, yeah.
I haven't trained shoulders properly in 12 months.
Wow, what's the least?
Probably, I don't know, probably my glutes.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say that. Because I did look at your photo. I said, man, you could do a bit more in his glutes.
I could do with a bit more glutes.
I think there was a side profile, and I thought,
Absolutely.
yeah,
We need more glutes. You can never have normal glutes.
Yeah, let's go over the body. I'm going to give you a body part. I just want an exercise, sets
Yep.
and reps,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So let's start with traps.
Traps. I actually don't train traps directly.
Many don't, so we can move
No.
on. Delts,
Delts.
side delts.
I like doing the where you lay down and you do like cuffed Y raises.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hectic one.
How many sets, reps?
2 sets from about 15 to 20 reps.
Okay.
With shoulders, I like to keep volume nice and high.
Yeah.
I like to get blood into the muscle and drive a lot of blood to the designated area.
Okay. I might try that. Rear delts?
Rear delts, just any form of chest supported rear delt flyer. Having the chest support keeps you sort of in that position where you can't sway
Yep.
and you can't move around. You can sort of just lock out and isolate the rear delt. And like it's same deal with the side delt.
Yep.
It's a small muscle group, so therefore I tend to like to keep high volume, low weight,
What about front delts?
shoulder press.
Shoulder press.
Can't go wrong with it. Like a
Same thing, 2 sets, high reps.
Yeah.
Back,
back, chest supported row.
chest
Like
supported
a
row.
T-bar row.
T-bar row.
Yeah, that's normally a good one.
Nice. How many sets and reps?
2 sets, 8 to 12.
Yep. Chest. Any chest exercise.
Incline Smith machine.
Incline Smith machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Sets, reps.
Yeah, 3 sets, 10 to 15.
Yep. Abs.
I hate training abs. Training abs.
I used to love training abs, and I've given them up
I
for the
hate
last
it.
few years. I don't train
Hate
in
it.
the last few years. I'm trying to fucking lose weight before I start
Yeah.
focusing on
Yeah.
my abs.
I'd probably say hanging leg raises.
Yeah, a lot of people
I
said
like
that.
doing that.
Sets and reps.
High reps, so I'd probably do 2 sets of 15 to 20.
Bicep.
Biceps, cable curls.
Cable curls.
Just single arm cable curls.
Sets and reps.
2 sets of 10 to 15 again.
Tricep.
Triceps, skull crushers. I rate skull crushers.
Skull crushers. That's an oldie, but a goodie.
Yeah. Two sets, 8 to 12.
Yeah. Forearms?
Forearms. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Some people do train them, some people don't. You seem like you got very natural big forearms.
Just made a chippy.
I'm going to say, yeah, it's because you're a fucking chippy. That's right.
Carrying lumps of timber around all day.
Yeah.
Normally does that. But I don't know about forearms. I guess like where you do, I don't even know. There's like a machine where you can like twist the bar.
Yeah. All right, you don't do it. Quads?
Quads, hack squat. If my knees can tolerate it.
Sets and reps?
2 sets, probably 6 to 8.
I used to like the hack squat. Now I hate the
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
And the pendulum one, the pendulum squats.
Yeah.
I seem to get it wrong all the time.
Very humbling exercise.
Yeah, because I go too light and I think I could go a bit more and then I push too far. Like
you put a 10 kilo plate on that thing.
You can't even find the sweet spot. It's whatever happens on the day.
100%.
You rock up, you think it's like pulling a parachute.
Yeah.
And then you do it, go, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And then you load up more, you go, that wasn't so bad. And then you find failure and you go, fuck, now it's bad.
Oh, now it's
and then
bad.
there's days where you go, I remember the last one was pretty good and fuck, I can't do it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hack squat. What did you say, sets reps?
6 to 8, 2 sets.
Hammies?
Hammies, seated hamstring curl.
Sets reps?
Probably 3 sets of 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Glutes?
like. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We don't know. Glutes. I guess hip thrusts.
Yeah.
I like hip thrusts. I don't do them enough.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. We seem to forget about the glutes, don't we? Oh, I did. I've never. It seems like it's
not one of those exercises that men will sort of look at and go, "Yep, that's what I want to do."
Yeah, we had Brett Contreras on. He's the guy that created the hip thrust.
Yeah.
His podcast gets launched this week.
Cool.
Right?
That's mad.
Yeah. We got him on because he abused us a few times. And I said, look, you've got to come on now. And he came on.
Yeah, cool.
So it was good.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I bagged the hell out of that exercise and I didn't mean
I actually remember seeing that on the podcast.
Yeah.
You did a podcast a while ago talking about the hip thrust.
Yeah. We lost sponsorships over that too. We lost
Really?
everything. Yeah. Because it went viral. That's the problem. I should have given you a disclaimer.
Yeah.
If they like one of your posts and it reaches 300,000 views,
Yeah.
expect to be now bagged by every influencer because you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
And the only way they can compound off your post is to critique you to make you look like a fool.
And it makes them look better.
And then they grow their page.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a fucking common analytical. Oh, yeah. It's
social media.
It's a formula.
Social media.
So, but we lost the sponsor over that, and because the sponsor took it too serious, and after Brett Contreras bagging us the second time, but he didn't bag us as bad as the first time. I said, "Do you think you want to come on?" And he came on, and we had a great conversation.
Love that.
Because I just said, what I was trying to say about the glutes. I'm not saying they don't work.
Yeah,
I'm saying I just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Oh,
and when I am doing it,
any male does.
and when I am doing it, I don't call out to my mates when they walk in the gym and go, "Hey, Ethan, I've just got to finish up the hip thrust. I'll be with you in a second." You know what I mean?
100%.
Usually, if you're doing bicep curls, Ethan,
Check him out.
I'll just finish the fucking bicep curls and I'll come and see you in a second.
Yeah.
And usually, when you're sitting doing the hip thrust, it's not like you're sitting, all your mates are around you going, "Yeah, so why did you get up on the weekend, mate?"
Yeah.
"Oh, mate, while I was on the weekend, I just, went out." Like, it's just something
Yeah.
Can you just put the hip thrust in the corner?
Yeah, just put it in the corner when no one's looking.
That's just
and I'll go do my business over there.
I never said it didn't work.
100%.
I just spoke what every guy must feel.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, we got banged down the fuck with it. It's like we hate hip thrust and it doesn't work. I just said, should guys do hip thrust? And obviously we had, what's her name? Ferreira. What was her name? Philippa Ferreira said, if I don't do hip, she told me, if I don't do hip thrust, I'm no good in the bedroom.
Yeah,
so now I've got a bedroom complex.
There you go. There you go.
So I always ask the girls. At the end, "Do you think I should be doing hip thrust?" And most of them have said, "What's hip thrust?" I said, "Well, there you go. I don't need to do it." Did you have a good time?
Some people are missing out.
Yeah. Usually, if I give them breakfast, they're usually happier. The ones that I don't give breakfast to, they're not happy. See, they don't care about the hip thrust. They just get breakfast. They just want to cuddle.
100%.
Spooning. Maybe there should be a spooning exercise.
The bear hug.
Or bear hug exercise for, and then we make everyone happy, even Philippa.
100%.
That we don't need to worry about the hip thrust to be good in the bedroom.
Yeah.
We need a good bear hug or a spooning. or breakfast. Oh, you're going to get hate mail with this one, mate. Maybe. Welcome, Ethan. Welcome to the hate mail part.
Let's love it.
Hammies. Oh, we said hammies. Glutes. We said glutes.
Yeah.
We murmured hip thrust.
Yeah.
Calves.
The donkey calf raise.
Oh, how good is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't find it everywhere.
It's not a common machine you find, but when you find one, it's good.
Mate, that donkey calf press.
Yeah.
You could watch a movie doing that. You can just sit there. Yeah, you could just sit there and keep going and just watch a movie
all day.
All day.
It's good.
Like just calves.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All day watching a movie. You could watch fucking Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
Just doing the hip. Just on that calf. It's
an unreal
stimulate. You can go heavy.
Yeah.
It's safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It works.
It's good. It takes. Yeah. It's not much stress on the body.
No, that's what I said to you. You can fucking watch a movie, read a book. Oh,
it's good.
Much better than hip thrust. Anyway, no. Brett's on this week. We're going to do some good stuff. The tibialis, I try to sound technical. That's the front of the calf. Do you train that at all?
No, not really.
No one does. I do, but.
Yeah, okay.
Time to promote yourself. Where can we find Ethan George, even though there's not much on your socials?
Well, obviously Instagram, ethan.george1.
Yes.
You can find me on there. That's pretty much all I use. I don't really use.
What about the other one?
Which other one?
Your other page.
Oh, my coaching one. Yeah, so that's Established Fitness.
Established Fitness, man.
Yeah, it's on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'll make sure we do that.
Chuck it a follow.
Yeah, chuck it a follow. There's not much there, but chuck it a follow anyway. Chuck a follow.
Yeah.
Don't need many posts, we just need followers.
Need it.
Mate, what can I say? I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I did. It was a great podcast.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure, man.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for having me.
Happy days. Happy days.